mean, I have...
Okay.
But we're about to
you know
start.
what? No. You know what? Yes.
Okay.
This is the podcast. That right there is the start of the podcast.
Damn it.
Yes. Yeah, that's my secret now. I actually just wait for someone to just kind of quietly ask or say something awkward, and that becomes the beginning of the show.
That's the opening line of the show.
That is the opening line of the show. This is the podcast, everybody. Welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 406. My name's Nick Henderson. I'm here with Brad Simons.
Yes, that's me.
He's wearing a...
To your left.
To my left. With a black Hawken baseball cap for some reason. Nolan Hedstrom
Is here too.
is also here.
Yep, I'm here.
He's to my right, since we're now establishing positioning in the room over an audio
Or it could all
podcast.
be a lie.
And Christopher Guthridge,
Hey guys,
commonly affectionately known as Crispy.
He's hanging from the ceiling.
I am.
I mean, they don't know at home, right?
What?
They're listening. They have no idea.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
I'm not
What are you
wearing
doing?
anything.
Welcome back.
I'm doing okay.
You all excited? for
I have
video game?
notes.
Brad is very excited about the fact that he has notes.
Yep.
I did want to open the podcast this week, guys, with a quick mention of our Patreon campaign. We are still going strong. We're at about $860 a month, which is fantastic. We've reached quite a few of our milestones. We're in the process of hashing out some new ones.
Like this behind us. See this? It's all because of you guys.
Whoa.
You see this?
Oh, it looks like I'm just
So
grabbing nothing.
if you're listening at home, or if you don't catch the live recording or the videos that go up on YouTube, we recently implemented a new podcast room setup. We have a nice giant green screen behind us where we can show gameplay footage. We have the nice overlays. We have couches. We have new microphone stands. We're very excited about it.
Yeah.
And this is only the first wave of upgrades. We still have a few more things we have to improve on. I think eventually we're going to be getting... We've already reached this milestone, but eventually we're going to be getting some new microphones. Those are kind of expensive.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. In fact,
bit.
one microphone is probably more expensive than these couches.
So it was funny though, because we were talking about getting new mics, and Jaeger was like, I listened to this one podcast a couple times, and their audio quality is pretty good. This is the mic they use, and so I looked it up. I'm like, okay, that mic's $1,200.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry, we're not going to get $1,200 mics.
And that little show was Howard Stern.
So anyways, yeah, we're very excited about it. We're working our way up towards a few milestones right now. I just wanted to bring to y'all's attention. I think our next milestone, at $900, we're going to be opening the merch store again, or selling merch again.
Yeah.
So
Merch. We're so cool, we call it merch.
I can't wait to buy a fucking t-shirt. It'll be great.
I'm sorry, I'm used to going to like shows
That's
or like merch booths.
Hey,
They talk
check
about
out the merch
booths.
booth, guys. Oh.
That's
I actually used to
merch
sell
table
merchandise
back.
for a band. When I was in high school, for my friend's band, it was the band was Alaska's for Players.
I'm mentioning that, Crispy. Chris
those
Davis.
guys?
That's a
Chris
good
Davis.
band name.
Stop typing. Well, I guess you can hit enter.
So
It's so weird watching Chris Davis type at the same time. But anyways, after we open the store, the next milestone at $950, we're going to be getting Crispy a capture card. So
yay!
You're
Fucking
limited.
finally!
The man needs a capture
this.
card.
I've been doing this for like 3 years, and I can finally play
It has
some.
not been 3 years.
No,
You've not been broadcasting for 3 years.
You've been on the show for 3 years.
It's been pretty close. It's been pretty close.
Okay.
The man needs-
It's been 2.5 years. Excuse me.
The man had to emulate Final Fantasy Tactics, and it had super weird sound effects because he didn't have a capture card.
Yeah.
Why
that
don't
was-
you just point your camera at the TV?
Hey, that would have been a good.
If we get that capture card goal, after Demon Souls, he will play through Symphony of the Night. We talked about it before the show.
yes,
But
we
only
totally
if we
did.
hit
This is not the first time I'm hearing about this.
Only if we hit that milestone. 950, come on,
Dude,
guys. We can do it.
If you guys,
Symphony of the Night, and then after that...
if I get a capture card, I will play whatever the fuck you want. I will play whatever you
Why
want.
Don't say
in
that.
God's green earth did you ever say that out loud?
and then
I
after
don't
that,
care.
he's playing Alan Wake. Wait, have you already played Alan
That'd
Wake?
be like, yeah,
Okay.
that'd be like 2 sittings.
Okay,
That's
that's
not a
pretty
long
good,
game.
right?
It's a good game. I don't hate Alan Wake.
No.
You don't
I know.
hate Alan Wake. Why'd you phrase it like that?
No, I
Go
just,
Are you saying it could be someone's favorite game of all time?
At least in their top 10.
I mean, top 25, sure, right?
Y'all can go for yourselves. Anyway,
You know what? I think if you do get a capture card, you should just play anime games.
No,
Oh yeah,
I'm going to be honest with you guys.
I'll go play Persona.
I want to be honest with you guys. I'm going to tell you a true story. Every week I ask these guys what they're going to be playing. And
he
stuff.
does. That's true.
And I go to
Corroborate.
Crispy and I'm like, so what are you going to play, buddy? And he's like, I don't know. Well, I'll put you down for Bloodborne. He's like, it's like my Bloodborne broadcast looked like shit.
It was, yeah.
And that's sort of where we started to like, you know what? We've been talking about the capture card for a long time. Let's put it in a milestone.
Yeah.
So because
we,
the poor guy can't broadcast. What have you been broadcasting?
Okay,
anyways?
so last night I started my Batman Arkham series run.
Oh.
So I played like 5 hours of Arkham Origins.
I thought it was funny that you started with Origins. I guess that's because
because I've
chronologically
done it. Yeah, I've done it in release order before. I want to do it this time in like chronological order. So we're starting with like early Batman, first time. Well, spoilers.
Young Batman.
Yeah, young Batman, and it's gonna follow the actual like narrative arc up through the 3 games, and then by the time I finish those, it should be about time for
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight.
I think if you could squeeze in Blackgate, that'd be cool.
Yeah, you have Blackgate, right?
Yeah, you've never finished it, right?
No, I've only played like
that should be
10 minutes of that
exciting
game.
to you, right? Because
I would like to play Blackgate, but it's not as exciting as you think it would be, only because it is associated with Origins, which isn't really my favorite game ever, and I've never heard anybody talk about that game. Like, it just kind of came out, and nobody's ever talked about it.
Brad talked about it on 4Player podcast.
I did.
I think.
It's very strange how that game is, how that world is constructed.
Was it?
It's made by the people who largely made Metroid Prime, so that's crazy.
Yeah, that's like a weird thing. You'd think there would be more hype.
You should
around
play
that.
just because that game is really weird. There was hype until it came out and people were like, eh.
I am going to play it, especially since I'm actually kind of going through Origins quicker than I thought I would be, but I'm just playing story in Origins.
I see.
I'm not collecting Enigma packs or like doing anarchy missions or any of that fucking bullshit.
That Joker fight in Blackgate was awesome. Apparently there's a Joker fight in an Arkham game.
Go figure.
So anyways, that's we're hashing out some new milestones right now because we've actually achieved a great portion of our milestones so far. So we need to dream some more. But the next time, the next milestone we hit, we'll be looking into opening our merch store so we can start selling some T-shirts again, perhaps. And of course, Crispy can get us capture cards. We can broadcast, a wider swath of games. For you guys. Yes. And on top of that, you're going to be doing a Demon Souls Let's Play with that capture card for supporters.
To christen my new capture card, I will be playing through Demon Souls, which I've never gotten more than like 4 hours into. So that'll be an interesting experience.
I've played more of a Souls game than Crispy.
There you go. Yeah, you've gotten you. Did you finish that?
No, but I'll tell you what. After Bloodborne, it's got the hooks are in.
It makes you want to go back.
So I kind of want to. I'm kind of like, because Dark Souls 2 comes out this week. Yeah. I'm picking that up for PS4. And
came out today.
I'm very excited to play that when I finally get around to it, because I got to finish Bloodborne first. But it's making me want to play more Souls games.
Good.
They're good games.
That's good. They're fantastic games.
Yep. That's good. You should play the original Dark Souls.
Speaking of Souls games,
you could be transitioning into 2 different games right now. I'm not entirely sure which one you're going to transition.
Thinking of Bloodborne.
I was going to maybe start with Bloodborne.
Sure, talk about Bloodborne. Oh, well,
the decision has been made for us.
Chris Davis decided for us. There's the overlay.
Bloodborne.
Let's talk about Bloodborne.
So there was a poll. There was a Your Way Brighter Day poll last week, and I got to be honest with you, the games I have been playing, I put on that poll because I didn't really have time to play some random bullshit. And of course, everyone voted for Bloodborne. It kind of won,
of course,
landslide victory. So I finally started some Bloodborne, and it's not like
over Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah, well, I mean, I played like 40 hours of Pillars of Eternity, but that's neither here nor there. But maybe they went to see something new. I don't know. But I played Bloodborne for about 9 hours. And that's all I played of Bloodborne.
And you're already farther than me.
This is
I'm not further than you.
Yes. Okay. No, but you were literally in this footage that we're watching right now. You were in the last new area that I went through.
Yeah, and recording this footage was really tricky because the last thing I did in this game was I fought the blood-starved beast, and I'm like, all right. And I stopped. I just turned off my console on Saturday, and I'm like, I turned it on today, and I'm like, all right, let's record some footage. And I look around the room, and I'm like, wait, where do I go?
Yeah, because the Bloodstar Beast is an optional fight.
So really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. So
Hold on. The cleric beast was an optional fight.
I did that one too.
This whole
By the way.
Guys,
this
I
whole
power
area
leveled-
you don't have to go to.
I
Hold on.
power leveled.
Then where do you go?
I got to level 40.
You can
Yeah.
go to the courtyard area.
Hold on. You got to level 40.
Dude, I fought that boss like 20 times.
So the thing is, Nick, in this game,
But you know what? I accomplished something.
Yeah,
I
no,
did something.
you definitely beating any boss in this game is an accomplishment. But in this game, there are so few bosses you actually have to fight to progress.
Yeah.
A lot of this game is optional.
This
stuff.
seemed like
Like
the
your mic might be
natural
closer.
place to go. I probably just don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I probably just don't know where I'm going, but this seemed like the place to go.
It did seem kind of like led you there a little bit. Yeah.
All right. So I really like Bloodborne. I think,
Okay.
you know,
This is what your notes are on, Bloodborne.
my notes are on Bloodborne.
Okay.
Well, because I mean, that's what I played. That's what I played that was new. And I want to talk about it because I had some questions the past couple weeks, like what the hell kind of game is this? I had some concerns. I was worried about certain aspects of it. You know, like, hey, there's way less weapons and stuff. And you're like, well, the weapons are cooler. And they are. They're very cool
And
weapons.
so that's something I don't know if we talked about it. I said yes, they're cooler, but in the previous games there were a lot of weapons that were really samey. Like two
Well-
different weapons that basically did the exact same thing, except for they
Sure,
looked
but there
a little
was
bit different.
there was dozens of weapons. And a
Did
lot
you-
of them
did you
had
stick
like
with
weird,
your-
crazy special effects. Like think about the fucking dragon tail one that you got in Dark Souls or whatever. That
Yeah.
Drake sword.
Yeah, the Drake
Yeah.
sword. Like there was crazy stuff.
Well, I
Say
mean-
what you will about weapon types. There was
So
always some crazy
the
weapons.
stake driver, whatever that thing is kind of similar in that regard.
Did
I mean,
you,
there are crazy weapons, but like I said, this game is definitely early on. You don't find those weapons early
Yeah.
on.
Did you stick with your the cane? for your
No,
playthrough?
no. So I have the axe.
Oh, am I the
Let
only
me
one?
tell you about my experience on
Yeah.
Saturday. I did pretty well. I'm told that a couple things. So I fought three bosses. I fought the cleric beast, I fought Father Gaston, and I fought the Bloodstar beast. I beat them all my first try.
What?
I've been told.
Hold on, Brad. Hold on.
I was
Hold on.
about to turn-
real quick. How many Souls games have you played, Nick?
Yeah, I finished.
This game is not about
Dude,
your power level.
I beat
It's
I
a-
beat Father Gaston on my second try. It took me 20 tries to beat
It's
fucking
not
Bloodstar
it's
Beast.
not about how strong you are. It's about your understanding of the mechanics of the game,
No.
which will not come until you play it more.
It is actually about your starting weapon because my axe is overpowered. I'm told. Spin to win is the meme, and you will see me spin the axe around.
So
it's a really
from what
good
I've
weapon.
seen,
With
yeah,
the-
that was much more powerful than
Well,
my starting weapon.
Well, like the axe in general.
Let me
is
just tell
overpowered,
you.
or you just pumped a lot into
Let me
it.
just
Well, both.
let me just put this in perspective because I feel like I'm getting the hang of this game pretty well. Like I beat Father Gaston, which I heard is a really hard boss for the most part. Beat him on my second try. You know the dude on the tower with the machine gun?
Yeah.
Knocked him off on my first try. I didn't
I
beat
did
him.
that.
Yeah.
You got the
knocked him
badge
off.
from him, right?
Yes.
Like when you kill him, he drops a badge that lets you buy the
So hold
stake
on.
driver.
He landed on the
Hold-
bridge below me.
But if you go back to where he was, there'll be a little like the soul emblem where on the ground where you normally kill someone. Go back to where you killed him, Nick.
But he fell off a cliff.
Go
No,
back
no. If you like
at the
exit
Gatling
game
gun.
and-
It will be there, and you'll get his badge.
Son of a bitch.
if you exit and
Yeah.
go back, they put it back for you. But yeah, that's how you get the stake driver.
So yeah.
Well, no. Okay,
Hold on.
so I'm not done.
Okay, I know.
And I know Chai Tai saying, and a lot of people in chat saying I was doing good. But there were a couple people who mentioned another thing. There's apparently a memory leak glitch in this game that makes bosses easier. And some people were thinking that maybe that happened to me, at least when I fought the Bloodstar Beast.
Was he just
Did
not
you leave the
doing
game on
anything?
for 12 hours?
No,
That's
I mean-
what triggers it.
No,
You have to leave the game on for at least 12 hours for it to
I had not
trigger.
even played the game for 12 hours. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, I thought I did okay. Some people thought I did okay, but there's always that, well, your weapon's overpowered, your game might have been glitched.
Yeah.
It wasn't,
You
it
can't
wasn't
win.
any. It wasn't
It's-
any merit on your part.
No.
It was you lucked out.
Well, maybe I did okay, but that's always there,
yeah.
and it just kind of sucks.
Hey man,
Yeah.
hey, you know I was so my girlfriend actually got ahead of me in this game. She beat the Bloodstar Beast, and I think I was feeling the. I felt feeling the pressure. I was like, she like beat it on her like fourth or fifth try, and I was like, "What the fuck is
So
happening
like, Nick,
right
did you
now?"
use any fire against the Bloodstar Beast?
Yeah,
Okay.
dude. The hardest part I on my first try with Bloodstar Beast, I got him down to like maybe 2 or 3 more hits would have killed him.
Yeah.
But I made a mistake. I dodged wrong. He fucking hit me. Whatever.
That'll
But at
happen.
that point, I was completely out of items. I had gone through all my Molotovs.
It's also one of those situations
Yeah, I
where,
realized.
especially with Souls games, where if you're having so much trouble with something, putting the game down and coming back later can help
No,
tremendously.
I did. I played it on Friday night. Stopped. Came back the next morning. Played it on Saturday for like 5 or 6 tries. Said fuck it. Stopped. Came back like 4 or 5 hours later. Did it again. Then beat it on my second or third try at that time. But like, I was just having a tough. But you know what? You know what did it for me? And this is honestly something that I just. A strategy that I didn't think about, I guess, at first. I was making the mistake of dodging backwards.
Oh.
You can only dodge to the left with that boss. If you dodge to the left with that boss, he'll practically won't even hit you.
Yeah.
I didn't like.
And
what-
so that's the thing. That's learning bosses' tells and how they attack and where their attacks go is very important in this game.
I did the same thing against these, like Father Gaston, as I did with the Bloodstar Beast. I couldn't do it against
you
the
hit by
Fire
the
Beast.
pillars, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what you do in every Souls game. You find some
That's
shit.
not what I did in either of those.
You find some shit to kind of like, give yourself some
between you
breathing
and him.
room to put yourself, you and him, so you can heal, so you can use
so
your
you
fucking
can be a
antidote
cheaper.
or whatever.
Yeah, you're
Dude.
being a cheaper.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, we're not having that.
I didn't fucking. I didn't do. I played the Bloodstarved Beast on the feed too, and I didn't
Right.
fucking hide behind shit. I just killed.
Would you know
it.
what I? You know what I usually do?
This is
I
not
have
the
my
conversation we're
fucking.
having.
You're the worst,
shield.
Nolan. You're why people go into GameStop and look at Dark Souls and are like, I don't know. I heard that game's really tough. I don't want to like. Come
Why?
on. If it works, it works. These games, I don't feel bad about taking any advantage I can find in these games.
So
Because this game will fuck you over
I'm
any
not
chance
saying
it
it
gets.
won't.
Also, there's
I'm
no
just saying.
fucking shields. Okay,
I have a shield.
yeah, me too.
Everyone has that one shield.
Listen, okay, I like shields.
Wait, you were using that thing?
Fuck no. Fuck no.
I like shields. I think it was a great fucking mechanic, and it's what initially drew
Drew you?
me to Demon Souls when I first played it at like E3 or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like I've never seen an action game with a shield mechanic that's this good, this satisfying, and that's a real bummer.
Yeah.
But this game had it, and I love that. So the game has the guns. Let me tell you how I feel about these guns.
Which gun are you using?
I have the
Blunderbuss?
shotgun.
A shotgun. Okay.
Called a blunderbuss.
I don't ever use my gun. I know
That's poor
I
decision.
know I might have to eventually, but I never use it. I mean, I don't have to, obviously.
It makes your
I've been
life
doing
easier.
okay. I have my axe. I mean, but that's the thing. It's like riposting, and I know you can do it from further away.
Yeah.
But it's like riposting. It's still high risk. At the very least, it takes some practice, some study of any enemy you try it on. I find myself up to this point not needing to do that, so I never use it. It's like I never ever riposted in the first 3 Souls games until the final boss of Dark Souls 1 because you have to. What I'm saying is like, and I know people can tell me, but riposting is great. And like, here's this video of this dude riposting all this shit. But I got through the first 3 games without doing it, and I feel like the gun is about as useful as riposting in that it's a really cool, fast way to take out some enemies, and it shows off that you have a lot of technique and maybe some style. But I don't like it. It's still high risk, high reward. Or if I fuck one up, I eat shit. If I space myself and dodge properly, then I don't need it.
Well, you can always
least
lean
not yet.
towards doing it earlier than later, and you'll usually give them a little knockback. They'll kind of respond. Maybe it might hit them out of their attack animation. But so one
It's
thing,
riposting with ammo.
one thing I do want to note is I didn't start with the axe. I started with the
Saw cleaver.
cleaver, the saw cleaver. I've never
You guys
used the
picked
axe
the
in this
dumb
game.
weapons.
I've never used the axe in this game. I got rid of my saw cleaver within like an hour of gameplay. I switched to another weapon. I've never seen the axe in motion, and yes, that axe is extremely overpowered.
Well,
none of my weapons knocked back enemies like that.
Well,
some range
it
on it.
is a high. I mean, in single form, it's not.
Are you
very
enjoying
good.
using the axe, or is it?
Yes, that's the thing. Well, you gotta understand. Like, I've upgraded this as much as I possibly can, and I got like the best gems I possibly can in that thing. So I mean, I've been working at it, but it's really that spin attack that everyone talks about being so great because
Mountain?
it hits twice.
No, not that
No,
one.
no. It's the one where I spin around
No,
twice.
it's just charging up R2.
He used it a second
And
ago.
it's true. Like, but the thing is, people are saying that
Wow.
later in the game it doesn't do, I guess, as much poise damage or something. But you just eat shit if you keep trying to do that. The only reason I was able to even actually land that on bosses is if I was like behind something, and I would wait for
and you
them
do
to
it
kind of
through like a pillar or something.
yeah. So that's kind of how I used it. It's not like this completely overpowered thing, at least not for the whole game from what I hear.
Good.
But it's cool. It's fun. Like I like to have. I never used big slow weapons. I never ever two-handed in Dark Souls. Like I never two-handed.
Yeah.
I like my shield. I like a good one-handed weapon. So it's like my
Sword
first
and
experience.
board.
Like not 80% of the time I'm in the full axe mode, like the two-handed mode.
Did you know you can knock down that chandelier?
I didn't know.
Really?
Wait, the
With
chandelier
the
that
thing
had...
hanging from
I
it?
had no- I tried.
And it sets almost the entire room on fire,
What?
I had
killing
no
a bunch
idea.
of those enemies.
So that room with the chandelier.
Fuck that room.
So
I just fought that room.
If you come from the other way and the one guy screams and they all come running at you.
I came in through the rafters, right?
Yeah.
And I saw all the dudes on the floor.
Yeah.
But I jumped down to like that level, the second level.
Yeah.
There was a dude up there. Had no idea they were all on the floor going to spot me and come running upstairs. I fought like all 20 of those fuckers on that little tiny platform, and I made it out. Oh my god, I was this close to dying. I had there were so many of them. I had no time to use health items, and I was just dodging all over the place. But luckily, I had leveled so high that my stamina was really high, so I was able to dodge a shit ton and use attacks a lot. But Jesus Christ, that was so tense.
Yeah.
Let me tell you kind of like my overall thoughts on Bloodborne and some concerns. Now I've talked with Jager about this stuff, and a lot of it maybe has come down to I'm still kind of early, and maybe I will see some more. Okay, so my concern was that I feel like this is a pretty streamlined Souls game, and a lot of the RPG stuff that I really liked in the Souls games is just kind of like being smoothed out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Such as?
well, like the stats, for example. Not only are there less stats,
Is he about
but
to do it?
no.
Yeah, he already fought him.
No, I already fought him.
Damn it!
I am. This is actually when I'm flipping over my fish in the oven. So if I'm climbing a ladder for too long, that's why. Well, you can't do anything when you start recording footage, and I had to cook food. Okay,
Nick, right there is where the thing will be.
Yeah,
if you go
okay.
right back up there, you'll get his badge,
All right,
and you
so-
can buy his weapons.
So like stats, for example.
Yeah.
Like there's no weight, there's no poise.
Nope.
Like strength or like strength and skill. They don't mean multiple things. They are literally just there to scale weapon damage.
Correct.
Like they no longer.
Strength and skill also scale physical defense and stuff too.
But
That's
everything
the way
does.
it was.
Everything does on a very even level, though.
Isn't that the way it was in Dark Souls?
No,
it wasn't.
Now, it doesn't matter what you put into it to a stat at any level. It always gives you 3 defense, and maybe it eventually trails off like when you're much higher levels.
I think higher up, some of them start giving you like 2 or versus, yeah.
It's very streamlined and across the board. Now, let me explain something. I liked having to do stuff like worry about burden, because that all plays into like the loot metagame. And I'm finding, honestly, loot kind of boring in this game. And I know the weapon designs are cool, but when I see a shiny, I know that 90% of the time it's going to be a fucking blood vial, it's going to be fucking bullets, and I'm not going to care.
So-
like where's the chance that I might get these boots that might be, have a certain defense, but it might have lower weight, so I can actually use that Hollow's armor in fast roll because I metagamed the loot system well enough to where that was something I could achieve.
So, yes, to that extent, the game is definitely smoother and a little less refined.
I think
But it's
That's,
making me a little less excited about pickups.
So hold on. So I will say, yes, pickups in this game are not as exciting as they were in previous games. Later on, the pickups get a little more dispersed between blood vials and bullets. Later on,
I've started getting the very streamlined upgrade item as well. now.
well, so you'll get more than that still. There's still more than that, and I think it's a factor of you're only in like the second area of the game.
Third.
Is this technically the third?
Kind of. I count the Cathedral Ward as an area, even though it's small.
2.B.
Whatever he is, you're not very far. There is so much more in this game, and that's the thing is they hide a lot. Like you haven't gotten to runes yet. You haven't gotten to like have you blood gems yet? Have you started doing blood gems?
Yes.
Okay, there's a lot more blood gems that do different things.
So I was freaking out too. Like I thought, like I think the loot has been kind of boring, and I was worried like that rings were going to be gone too. But I'm hearing that the runes are essentially the rings.
Yes, runes are rings. Yes,
But are they as like varied and weird and strange
yes.
as
They're-
as rings?
So I mean, so they're not not to that extent. They're very like I have one that gives me more blood vials. I have one that whenever I do a visceral attack, I get 200 HP back, which is actually really fucking helpful.
that sounds great.
It is. There are ones that increase like kind of stats. They increase your strength, increase your defense. So yeah, they're essentially the rings, and you find them in the world.
This is my fear though. There was like this meta, like there was a synergy to the meta game in these previous Souls games where it's like, all right, there's this sword that seems really awesome. I want to get it, I want to use it, but it is very heavy. But there's this armor that I can get that will lower my defense a little, but I can use this piece of armor with it. I can still fast roll and use this new sword if in 2 more levels I put these points into some stamina, so I could still roll and do 3 attacks. Like everything was synergized really well together to where like getting loot, leveling up, actually caring where I put my stats, because now I just it doesn't really matter. This time I'll do vitality. I feel like I don't have a goal I'm working towards like I did before. And all that, the loot, the stat system, and even the skills I used and stuff, especially because in Dark Souls 2 I could fucking respec, all that synergized really well and made me excited in the way that I think the best RPGs do. And I'm told that I will eventually get to a point in the game where, I start getting runes and stuff to where that stuff will still be there. But right now it seems a little streamlined and a little bit shallower than it was in the Souls games.
And you know what? I do. You probably know better than I would, obviously. This is really the only game that I've played with any significant amount. But I only played Dark Souls 2 for about 10 hours. Everything you're saying is true, and I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, I feel like that was all very intentional. Because there is a certain... I feel like there's a certain part of the design doc of this game where they specifically wanted to make a game for the people who were not necessarily into all that stuff in Dark Souls. I am excited to play Dark Souls, but my biggest worry going into Dark Souls is that I'm going to be totally overwhelmed and turned off by the ridiculous number of stats.
Sure.
And I am not a stat.
But this is where we're different people.
That is what's really interesting about the Dark Souls, though. And you're right. There's not really. I'm not making a build, when I would play Dark Souls, I would be like, okay, I want to have high strength and high faith because I like doing these kind of paladin builds. There's not really that much variety between my character, Nolan's character, Nick's character, your character. But what you were saying about the loot, my thing with that is you're right. There aren't as many unique items that you're picking up. It's mostly blood vials and consumables and stuff like that. But thinking back to especially Dark Souls 2, I feel like there were so many times where you'd find loot. It would be something that you've never heard of before. You'd be like, oh wow, I got this sword. You'd go look at the stats and you'd be like, okay, I'm never gonna use that. You would just pick up all this shit that you'd be like, hey, that's really cool, and you wouldn't do anything with it. It'd be it's like Christmas morning, you're opening all your presents and then you're not doing anything with them. It doesn't mean anything.
So if it's more the argument of quality over quantity, maybe I agree with you to the weapons to some extent. Although I will argue there was actually a lot of unique weapons in those Souls games outside of just the regular.
There were.
No one's saying there
but weapons like I beat bosses the only armor pieces I found came in entire sets that I found on the ground.
That's the way Dark Souls was.
Or not always.
Unless you were talking about enemies would drop enemy
pieces.
sets.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had the Hollow Soldier sets and the Alon Knight sets.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You don't have as many of those. But any other armor that you found in those games came in sets.
Okay, but that's not even my point. My point is actually most sets are you purchase from the store when you beat bosses, but the ones that I've encountered so far, everything seems so balanced and smoothed out that I'm unlocking sets that the only reason I would wear the top hat over this other hat is because I think it looks cooler. So while it's a little bit lower in this number, a little bit higher in this number, and all the armor I've come across seems like that. And that's
it's more cosplay friendly, basically. Yeah.
So,
which I don't have a problem with.
Brad, this entire conversation is leaning towards this game is more streamlined, and the answer is yes, it is. And we don't need to talk about half an hour of all the different ways it is.
You're right.
100%. Yes, this game is much more streamlined compared to the previous Souls game. Is this a bad game?
No, absolutely fucking not.
No
It's great.
whatsoever.
I think the action in this game is amazing. I think the enemy designs and the boss designs I've come across are great. It feels snappy. I mean, outside of action, the only thing is I miss my shields. But it's still fun to play, and I don't love guns. But that's fine. My question for y'all is, or my fear would be that
in the future games, are they gonna do the same thing? So
Wait,
hang
are they
on.
going to continue?
Because Brad, that's what I was trying to get to next before Brad went on. His fear is that yes, is in future games are they going to continue down the streamlined path? Because they noticed that there are a lot of people in the world, maybe like Nick, who don't like all those little numbers, who don't like fidgeting with this, who don't want to have to
At
deal
least I
with
don't
that.
yet. The thing is,
Well, yeah.
this is very much like a
it's-
great entry point in the franchise.
I agree,
Absolutely.
it is. And so the problem is none of the previous games explained anything. They were really bad at explaining how the game worked.
This one doesn't really explain much either.
Well, that's because there's a
But it
whole
also
lot
has
less to
less
explain.
going on.
Yeah. And so if the previous games, if you wanted to get into them, you had to get into them. You had to delve into those games. You had to talk to people. You had to do a lot to understand how it worked. This game is much more streamlined. A lot more people can get into this game a lot easier than they could in the past. Now, this is Bloodborne. This isn't Dark Souls. This is a different team than worked on Dark Souls. In my
and I think
opinion,
that's probably the main reason this game isn't called Blood Souls or something like
Yeah.
that, because they wanted to kind of separate them.
So my hope is that possibly Dark Souls continues with its current path it's been on, and maybe Bloodborne does its own thing as well. Two different types of game. Maybe Bloodborne is the more consumer-friendly version of the Souls game, whereas Dark Souls is the more, in-depth, you have all those numbers and stuff. You have all those
Which
skills.
that's what I'm praying. I'm praying that continues to be the case.
if they have like a
Or
Dark
maybe the
Souls
next
3
Bloodborne-
and a Bloodborne 2.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand why the respec is gone.
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense, especially if this is trying to be friendlier, because people are talking about,
Yeah,
well,
that's true.
like I got this fucking flamethrower, and I can basically never use it. I
Yeah.
will never ever use that weapon because you have to be spec'd a certain way to make it actually useful. So it's just like this gimmick weapon I'll never use unless I play the game again because you can't respec.
Hey, what's the level cap in this game?
You're not gonna hit
like
it,
in the
Yeah,
hundreds.
probably something.
Oh, okay.
The other thing is, like, guys, I miss Estus flasks,
Uh-huh.
and I'll explain why. I go into a boss fight, and yes, I did beat him first try, but I go into the boss fight thinking that, okay, I'm not going to start healing until I know what's going on, because I don't want to have to die, come back with no healing items, and have to grind out some fucking healing items. Dude, that's so, like, you never had to do that with the Estus flask.
No, yeah,
Why
I
did
agree.
they do that?
That right there is the reason it took me so long to beat the Bloodstarved Beast, is because every time I fucked up and I failed, I literally had to go grind out to get more. I had to go back to Central Yarnum to get more ammo for my gun, because that's the only place where people drop. I can identify all the enemies that drop the bullets, and then I would go to Old Yarnum to grind for souls, because I can get the most souls that are just fighting those werewolf things that die in like 2 hits, and then go buy a bunch of blood vials or whatever I would need for that fight, or Molotovs.
So Brett, I agree
It
that's an
discourages
issue.
experimentation.
Yes.
It discourages fucking around or trying some crazy thing on a boss, because you don't want to get to a point where you've wasted too many items getting to that point, because it's more punishing after you die having to grind that stuff
I
out.
agree. So it's I found an easy, because I had trouble with the next boss that y'all two were about to go to. I had a little trouble with that boss, mainly because of an aesthetic choice. But I used a lot of blood vials on it. And I realized, oh fuck, I just respawned, and I don't have 20, I have 15.
Yeah.
That means I'm down to 15.
Yeah.
And so I found an easy path that I could quickly run through Central Yarnum. From the Central Yarnum lamp to the tomb, whatever that.
Where you fought Father Gashon?
Yes.
You fight the two big dudes, you get
Yes.
their 4 blood
Yeah.
vials.
So no, I can run from that one to the other one, and it's on average 12 to 15 blood vials every
Yeah.
run. So I could, like, literally, and the run would take me 5 minutes. So 10 minutes later, I have 30 extra blood vials. I'm not saying that's the best solution. I don't know why they chose to go with blood vials instead of Estus.
Dark Souls
I'll tell
2
you-
was the best mix.
I'll tell you,
you had to
my-
work to get your Estus flask, but you had healing item
Guys,
options.
this is something that was not explained to me, and I didn't realize it until I had to fight the Bloodstarved Beast 3 or 4 times, and this is actually a design choice I really like. My question for you is, was it like this in Dark Souls, or is this another
No.
example of being streamlined?
This is different.
No. When you collect blood vials and you have your max, it automatically puts it in that storage bin.
So
Where is your storage bin?
It's
in the Hunter's Dream.
In the Hunter's
Dream, when you enter the building, it's on your right.
I
There's a
guarantee
chest.
you, if you go to that chest, you're gonna open it up. You're gonna have like 100 blood vials.
Well, so the thing with blood
Well, it
vials
should be
is,
refilling
every time you
automatically.
die, if you have some in there, they automatically
can't-
refill. real.
I kept asking
Did you not
myself,
know that?
Well, I don't.
I kept freaking out because I died, and I was like, "Why does it give me back all my? Is it feeling sorry for
it's
me?
so
to
you
give
had
me
a-
back my
'cause you had
blood
a shit
vials?"
ton in
So
your
anytime you pick up
storage.
an item that you're carrying the max of, it automatically goes into your inventory. When you die, it automatically refills on the bullets and the blood vials. Other items won't automatically refill, like antidotes
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You have to manually go up to the inventory and pull it out. But that's what happens. And no, the previous games weren't like that, but that was mainly because in previous
I
games...
like that a lot.
In previous games, you weren't finding shit tons of items.
Are my
Here,
dogs outside?
apparently.
Can you get them, Chris Davis, please?
In previous games, you didn't have Estus, you didn't have bullets. It wasn't like that. When you found items, you just picked them up and carry them. If the item had weight to it and you picked it up, all of a sudden you could be over encumbered. And so you had to make the option of, oh, do I want to take this with me or do I want to drop it? Whereas in this game, since weight isn't a factor, you just pick up everything and it just goes to your inventory when you're full.
That's
Well,
why
weight was only a factor on items that you had equipped. It wasn't like what you
in Dark Souls 2,
Correct.
Wait, what are we talking
Dark
about?
Souls 1 had item burden.
Yeah.
Not equipment.
Items
Wait,
would have
both.
Yeah.
Has it been
had
that
a
long
weight.
since I played
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
I
Items
do.
had weight, yeah. Not all, but some.
Oh my god, I haven't played that game in forever.
But yeah, so no, this is different, and this is a streamlined version. Yes.
Okay, I was just curious. I like that decision. It does help knowing that if I fuck up, if I have blood vials on hold, like in the inventory in the storage,
thank
it'll
God for
automatically
that,
fill.
yeah.
Yeah.
It does help quite a bit. But anyways, we've talked a long time about
Yeah.
about Bloodborne, and I'm amazed we did it with relatively few spoilers. So I don't know. I'm really
Oh, can we spoil stuff?
no. Who here's finished the game?
None of us have. So from what I know, I can finish the game right now. I can go do the final fight.
Yeah.
Or apparently there's multiple endings. I don't know. But there are multiple areas I haven't been to that I got access to them earlier, and enemies like mobs were one hitting me.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I'll come back here later. And now that's where I've done. I've gone back to those areas, and I haven't finished them yet.
Did you find
oh.
Did you find the rapier yet?
No.
The rapier that we were talking about?
Oh.
Yeah, there's a rapier that turns into a gun.
Oh, I got that. The spear. Wait,
No, that's the
a
rifle spear.
It's
Oh.
like that, but it's a rapier that like turns into
No,
a
I haven't
pistol.
found that one.
how
yet.
does that even work?
I
Anyways,
don't know. It's awesome. I want it. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Speaking of Souls,
Yeah.
Titan Souls.
I don't have words, guys. There's so many Souls games. I want to play another Souls game.
We played
Yeah.
the Titan Souls demo. All
So-
of us.
Look, first of all, Titan Souls. We played this at PAX South.
Correct.
Most of us did, I think, at some
Devolver,
point or
one
another.
of Devolver's
This
new
is actually
games.
the first time I'd played it. I've seen it at shows, but I never.
This was
touched
tucked
it.
away right next to all the other Devolver games that we were playing
Yeah,
at PAX
like
South.
that. Like that.
I remember
Gunjoy.
playing this while I was
Like-
waiting to play
Magnetic?
Magnetic, and then I just kept dying, and I don't know. But this game, all right.
Dude, what the fuck
So we're just
is
okay.
this?
So first of all, this is just the demo. The full game actually comes out on the 14th.
Yeah, next week.
I'll be playing this. So this game.
Wait, you're gonna get it when it comes out?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you want to share my inventory now? Is that what you're saying?
You're the only person who ain't in the part share family.
I don't know why that is. I'll get in on that. But yeah.
No, I'm hearing that the final game is 20 bosses.
Okay. Let's
set it up.
Let's set the game up first. So this game is a 2D retro style game, but it's being described. The easiest way to describe it is what I've read, which is Dark Souls meets Zelda
I wouldn't
meets
call
Shadow
it
of the
2D.
Colossus.
I'd call it isometric.
Isometric. There we go. That's a
Yeah.
better word. So this is.
It's like
So this first of all, this is my footage because
where's Dark Souls coming from? Just out of curiosity.
mostly because I mean it's
The
designed to be
quick
really
deaths,
difficult.
I guess. I don't know.
like so. This game is designed. So I guess the hook
There's
of
a
this
lot of
game.
rolling.
Yeah. So you roll. There's the Zelda influence.
Yeah.
You do lots of rolling to go everywhere. But kind of the draw of this game is that you are a little kid. There's really simple controls. You roll, you attack with your arrow, but you only have one arrow. So every time you fire that arrow, you have to go retrieve it before you can fire it again. And on top of that, everything is a one-hit kill. If you get hit, you're dead. If you hit a boss in the weak spot,
you know
it's
you can
dead.
suck the arrow back
Yes.
towards. Okay.
You hold Y, you suck the arrow back towards you.
You can suck the arrow back, but you can't be moving when you do it. That's the kind of downside to it. You have to stand still.
Yeah.
Which is hard when bosses are kind of moving all over the place. So, this demo is kind of set and I was trying to figure out how this was structured, but like there's three.
There's no
different-
explanation.
Yeah, it starts you out in this little field. It opens up and you have
Dude.
3 bosses in 3 different corners.
This
you can go
fucking
fight.
guy.
Yes.
This guy.
He was the hardest.
You just
for me.
walk up
Fuck
to
all
him.
these guys.
That was the hardest for you? The hardest one for me was figuring out the ice boss.
I
which-
didn't beat any
Oh
of them.
yeah,
It's
well,
like,
that's just annoying.
Okay, so I died. So, yeah, okay.
see, that is all that has ever
Okay.
happened to me
Okay.
in this game.
So
is
what-
I go touch a boss, and the first thing he does murders me.
Okay, so that's the beauty of this. Okay, so first of all, one thing I love about this game so far is that it has kind of the same appeal as Dark Souls. It's very challenging. It's kind of brutal, but at the same time, when you die, you don't have to wait 45 seconds.
Yeah.
No.
for the game to load.
Well,
You do have to walk.
You gotta
back.
wait 45 seconds.
that
to get
is
back
kind
to
of
them.
the one thing about this game that's annoying the shit out of me. Is it's so easy to die because everything's a one hit kill for both you and the boss.
Yeah.
But I don't really. I feel like the walking is in there because if it wasn't in there, this game would be
Yeah, I feel
30
like
minutes
this is,
long.
This is like a glorified like boss select
Well, okay,
screen.
first of all,
like there's nothing you're doing
Okay,
in that
first of all,
world.
It's why I didn't finish the demo
guys,
at PAX South.
it's a demo. This was
No, I
literally
know,
designed
I
to
know.
show off the bosses. I want to know what kind of
No,
what you're
oh,
doing
God.
outside of this. Okay, so watch this fight. I think this is where I win. I might not. This might be.
Oh.
Okay,
Nope,
no.
you die.
So what I love about this game is when
That
you're
turn
fighting these bosses,
really
it
quickly.
becomes comical.
Yeah.
How fast when you die, like the music and getting all intense, and you're like, yeah, and you're rolling, you're dodging, you're getting all into it. I'm like, and all of a sudden it just fucking crushes you, and the music just stops.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, and it just sucks the wind out of your sails so fast. It's hilarious. But when you finally land the killing blow, holy shit,
It
it is
feels good.
satisfying. I think this might be it.
This is more stressful than.
But these boss fights are really fast. They're really intense, and you're literally just looking for.
That's not this one.
No,
Dude,
I died.
that, like that
I died a
barely
few
touched you. That was like a little corner just smashed.
It's a
you.
giant
The
block.
thing about this
I
boss is because he's so perpendicular. I mean, he's so like it's like a chessboard that he's flipping on like a brick. It's hard to get it out of your mind that you can actually shoot at an angle.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was
Yeah.
first fighting him, it was like I can only shoot straight at him. And then I realized, wait, no, I could just shoot at an angle, and then I beat him pretty quickly after that. It's just hard to get that out of your head.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
so I want to know what's going to be going on outside of these balls. Oh, so satisfying. And then you have to actually pull the arrow out of him. I'm trying to figure this out, but you have to like hold the button down to draw the arrow, and it does this like really dramatic, really intensely
Shadow of the
satisfying.
Colossus, kind of, yeah, like the shit flying at you.
And then you lift into the air, and the light goes into you, and you're
Exactly
like,
like Shadow of the
So
Colossus.
this is what this game looks like when it's not ruining your day.
yes. Yes, and what I want to know is what this game looks like outside of this, because everything they've been showing has been focused on the bosses.
Correct.
So, like Brad said, if it really is just go from boss to boss to boss, it really is going to be like, if you're really good, you could probably finish it very quickly.
Probably.
But the world looks like it's built so that you can explore it, so I'm wondering, is there going to be puzzles? Is there going to be, like, dungeons? Like, are there other enemies other than bosses?
Well, I will say that it could maybe just be like this for the demo, and the reason I would say that is because when we played it at PAX South, it had an even different layout than this.
So at PAX South, it was literally just stairs leading up to doors that went to bosses.
But you
it
still
wasn't
had to
even an
walk.
open area. Yeah, you had to walk all the way up the stairs. Yeah.
Which has me wondered, are they trying to actually hide something?
I hope.
I hope too.
Because, like I was mentioning earlier before we started the show, that this right here looks exactly fucking like A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
This looks exactly like A Link to the Past. And if they had a world similar to that, it'd be fucking amazing.
So I feel like they wanted to quickly maybe establish themselves as like, this looks like Zelda, but this is hard as Dark Souls or something like that, because like they are very much emphasizing like how difficult these bosses are. I see like died so fast.
Yeah.
But like it seems like even in the three bosses that I fought in this demo, like they all had very distinct different ways of killing them, and that seemed really cool. And the demo that we played at PAX South, there was an even different boss.
There was one more boss.
There was one more boss that was even a little more complicated than what we've seen here. So I'm wondering how
It was actually the most complicated boss.
yeah, I'm wondering how complex it gets. But like this ice boss, I could not for the life of me for a while figure out what the fuck I was supposed
What
to do.
you're
'cause-
supposed to do,
So
yeah.
obviously, when he rolls over these switches, it triggers a flame in the middle, and you obviously have to melt the ice. So you have to somehow get him to touch the flame, but you can't push the pressure switches to through the fire. I actually burned myself there
Yeah.
with that.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
But you literally have to do what you did in Zelda with when you got the fire, or when you would turn regular arrows into fire arrows.
Correct.
By having him push a pressure switch while you were on the opposite side of between him, but the flame
then
is between
shoot
you
the
and the
arrow.
boss.
Shoot the arrow through
Shoot
the
the arrow
fire.
through the flame, hit the ice block, melt it, and then it becomes a regular boss
I was
fight.
struggling with
I'm
the
never gonna
mechanics
play
of that.
this. I'm never gonna play this game.
But
I find that so surprising.
People are comparing this to Shadow of the Colossus.
I will.
People are comparing this to Shadow of the Colossus, saying, "Well, you didn't do anything out in the world in Shadow of the Colossus." You're right, but you spent a lot of time actually fighting those colossi. I'd say you spent more time fighting Colossus than you did,
That was like-
running around the world.
Yes.
That was
I
like
feel
a whole
like
thing.
in this
some
game,
of
you are
those-
going to spend more time walking to
those-
boss rooms than you are fighting bosses. Think about that.
Some of those colossi were like levels.
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
No, they were.
That was
Yeah.
the thing, is you spent time trying to just, while still on the Colossus, get to a weak point. So yeah, I'm not saying
Also,
they're the
traversing
same.
this world is not fun.
This is
Yeah. I'm not saying they're the same. They are similar to an extent, just because it's just a bunch of bosses. But it's still good. But yes, I hope there is more. I really do hope there is more than just these bosses. Because
Spoiler
of the,
alert, I died in this fight.
if we were watching my footage, I would have already beaten
This is
all
why we
three
didn't use
by
your
now.
footage, Nolan, because it would be over before we finished talking about it.
What?
The positives are that the boss designs are fucking awesome.
No,
dude.
they're definitely
like,
awesome.
The ones I've played and the ones I've seen seem really fucking cool. Like the concept of how are they going to turn this boss, which isn't might be like not all that different than a Zelda boss, into this thing that I can kill ultimately in one shot, and that's kind of cool. Like all the bosses you fight in this demo are very different from any of the others that you fight.
You had it right there, Nick.
I know.
You could have gotten it right
But man,
there.
like, I'll tell you what, when I was fighting that boss, I was getting into it. I was like, oh yeah, I got this. At that point, I knew what I was doing. And all of a sudden, like, he just fucking crushes me. And I was just like, oh, just like all the wind out of my sails. Just instantly. And the funny thing is, it didn't feel frustrating to me because I found myself laughing because it just came across so funny. Because the music literally just like record skip, it cuts.
Yeah.
Arx
It's
brings up
over.
a really good point though.
What's that?
Why would the Ice Cube boss hang out in a room with fire?
That's a good point.
Maybe
Because he
was
can't
a-
get through the door because
was
of
a
his ice block.
failsafe.
Yeah.
It was obviously some kind of prison designed to hold that brain thing, and they had to have some way to release.
So Nick, did you defeat this boss?
Yeah, I beat the demo.
Do you know the trick to this boss?
Yeah. Well, I
Shoot
mean, I know...
Yeah.
Get
it's weak
close
spot.
to it or something?
No.
No, you wait. When he switches, that's when you have to fire. Like in the middle of his switch.
He switches which
Fuck
hand
that
he's
boss.
using based on what side you're on.
Oh, I
So
didn't
if you
know that.
run to the right, as soon as the left hand smashes, the right hand is going to lift up, and that's when you have
See,
the
I didn't notice
opportunity.
that. I just thought he was kind of changing on random intervals. But I don't know.
Because I played this at PAX South, and I beat all the bosses at PAX South. And there was a chatter who was there with me. I can't remember who it was though. He was playing the game as well. And I beat all of them then. And yeah, I didn't beat them on my first try. I probably had a very similar experience right here when I first played the game. But see, if you run over to the right, as soon as you get to the right half of the screen, or the left half, I guess, or
Right
his
half.
left, watch,
And- yep.
switch his hands. So that's every boss kind of has their little things that the first time you fight them, you're probably not going to figure it out. Maybe you'll figure it out the
And
first
they're
time.
counting on most people dying.
Oh,
quite
definitely.
A bit.
You're not
like when
gonna-
you save the game, it tells you how long you've been playing and how many times you've died.
Which is fine, but
Yeah.
how much of the time is going to be spent doing this?
See, I don't know. That's what I don't know. That's what I'm most curious to find out. But I'm definitely excited about this game now.
Like I love that the game is minimalistic, and I like the way the game feels. Like I like the mechanics of it are great. The boss designs are great, but I'm really worried that they're
Delivering the
they're
killing
doing a disservice to this game.
Sure.
in an effort to stretch it out.
Sure, but
Did
like
any of you beat all three of the
yeah,
bosses?
I did.
Oh.
It
All three of you? Fuck you.
I think
fuck
you just gave
and
up
fuck
too
you.
early.
Seven minutes.
But you know what? If he didn't have to do that jog every time, he probably would have been here saying that he
Yeah.
finished.
Also,
it.
it took me about half the demo before I realized I could hold the button to run, which is dumb because it tells you at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
But
it's so.
I'll tell you right now,
false.
the delivering the killing blow in a boss fight is
It's super
It's so
satisfying
sad.
when the game freezes and you know you hit it, and it feels
it's almost
good.
as sad. It's up there with like beating a boss in Dark Souls or Bloodborne or whatever. Like it is a satisfying feeling,
Yeah.
and I love it. So I want to play that just so I can get that feeling as much as possible. I did not survive this fight either. I just want you to know.
It is a good feeling.
getting our hopes
I
up.
died so many times.
And then he keeps smashing.
And then it just keeps going.
I will say, if you did like the cube boss in this game, final boss of Legend of Grimrock is so good. Because
Legend
it's a cube.
Hey,
That's rolling towards you.
if we share games, I can play Legend of Grimrock, can't I?
Yep.
Yeah.
You can play both of them.
play two.
Oh shit!
Yep.
Well, I have a lot of games you can play.
I know you do. I know you
It's
do.
not a fair trade.
Anyways, no, it's definitely not. Especially now that I bought you Talos Principle. That's like the one game I have that was probably
Yeah, that's true.
worth money
Yeah.
that you already have now. Anyways, we can move on. I'm going to talk more about this when it comes out, which is very soon.
Yep.
I think next week.
Next Tuesday is when it comes out.
So we'll probably talk more about it in the coming weeks. But what else? Nolan, you played some
I played more Senran Kagura.
son of a bitch.
Why
Here
am
we
I
go.
a son of a bitch? Why am I a son of a bitch?
I
You
don't
tell
know.
me why
I don't
right
know.
now.
You're
Let's
not
see.
a son of a bitch. You are a pervy old man.
Let's
Yeah,
see
is it
why
still
Nolan is
pervy?
son of a bitch. Let's look at the
So,
footage.
and this is something I had to burn it and I had a discussion about. It's as pervy as you make
we
it.
had a talk.
Yeah. It's as pervy as you make it. You don't have to
It's-
make it pervy.
It's a relationship aid.
You don't have to make this game pervy.
Yeah.
You don't?
Why not? Why would you have to?
Do we have footage?
Yeah, no, there's definitely footage.
I'm hoping that's the reason we're talking about
Okay, let's
this.
be honest though.
So we can watch the footage. Otherwise, what else is there to say about Senran Kagura?
Every single one of these characters is definitely over the age of 18, right?
That is not even remotely true.
Yeah, but
that's
also
weird.
the age of consent
They
in
aren't
Japan
real.
is lower.
Do they have
And
ages?
it's not 18.
It's 16.
Yeah, I think it's 16, yeah.
Oh, so it's like Alabama.
Oh god. Hey. Never mind, I'm not gonna go there.
Oh, what?
I like that.
What? What was that?
Go, Nolan.
What is that?
Nolan, go ahead. Tell us all the new stuff about this game.
So,
I,
was that a?
Wait, is that really a butt plug?
Was that
No.
supposed to be a?
It's a pacifier that you can any
That you
any,
can put
any,
in your butt.
any accessory that you can put on in this game. You can put it on your head. You can put it on your legs. You can put it on your arms,
Tell us
or you can
about
put it
that.
on your body.
It's not a pacifier. It's not a butt plug. It's a pacifier that you can insert
Don't
into
put that in your
anus.
mouth.
And so I decided
Use
this.
it
This
to
look. Watch this.
Pacify your anus. What the fuck?
So the other one I gave a
Anal beads.
no
You gave her
gag.
anal beads.
I gave her a gag, a mouth gag, using
my
a rabbit
God.
tail and a choker on your neck. Because any item you can
Like a ball game.
yeah, like a ball gag. Because any item you can.
Have you tried putting the ball gag in her butt? 'Cause I'm pretty sure you can.
No, I haven't tried yet. You can customize the size of it, like literally the height, the width, the depth, and wherever it is.
The
And-
depth?
Yes, the depth.
I bet.
You did not put a pacifier in her ass. You didn't do that. You're not supposed to do those things.
Apparently he did.
I did a little bit, just the tip.
Well, this girl looks pretty modestly dressed. Oh my god.
That's
So-
only.
Okay.
Oh, she's a villain.
This is
Yes,
Obviously, you have to defeat.
Well, so yeah. So the thing with this game is the way you play it is there's 4 different schools, and you choose one of them. You play through its storyline, and then when you switch to a different school, you play through that school's like vision of what happened. But there is an actual story to this game.
There it goes.
There is an actual story.
There is a story, and it's actually pretty
I don't
interesting.
remember what it is.
No, I remember. I definitely remember what it is, and I've been actually intrigued by it. It's it's like one of the more recent ones I had was like one of the main characters' grandfather, like he opened up a sushi restaurant. And I will say the way the storyline was introduced was they were all in the bath naked and he walked in. But afterwards, they went to his sushi restaurant and he talked to them about his
Sushi
past
roll.
and being fucking shinobi, battling. And it's the plot besides the boobs is good, and the fighting isn't bad. It took me a while to get used to it, mainly because there are 5 different characters you play as, and each one is completely different from the other. And so that the issue I have is learning their fighting styles.
What?
That wasn't under
That underwear wasn't even on her ass. It was like under her ass. It was like in the middle of falling down.
Nolan, I played this game at E3. It's not the most technically impressive
Wait, is this the game where they were
action
handing
game
us,
in terms of mechanics.
is this the game where they were handing us tissues?
No, that
was a
was,
different. That was a
Oculus
Oculus Strip.
Yeah, Oculus Strip.
But this was the one we got footage of.
This was the last game we played at E3, I think.
Well, I played the Vita one.
This is the Vita.
We were like, hey, the show floor is about to close here for the last day in like a couple minutes. What can we squeeze in? I know. Let's play Senran Kagura. Did I just say
Yes.
that?
I also played the
correct.
cooking one, which you should get that too.
Yeah,
Don't you?
Bon Appetit. Yeah. I don't know if I want to get that. It's only on PSN. I have to download it, and I don't know if I want to get it or not. It's a rhythm game that seems kind of meh, and yeah, the whole point is,
Dude,
just,
you got to stop doing that move.
dude, that's actually our most powerful move.
So, first of all, let me just say for people listening to the audio podcast,
So she got
I understand
clothes and then lost the new clothes.
I understand that we're commenting on the footage that we're watching right now, but there's really no other way to do it. Like there really isn't.
So hold on, I
Watch the
can't
YouTube
talk
video.
about it. So the way the battle system works, Crispy, is there are 4 different modes. There's Flash, there's Yin, and there's Yang. Flash is that's just what they're called. The terms. No, is your normal mode. It's where you're wearing your school uniform, or what you designate as your school uniform.
Oh, if you designate a school uniform, do all the characters of that school wear the same thing?
No, they all have a default school uniform, which that's what you saw last week, the white shirt with the skirt or whatever. But you can make them like wear whatever.
That won't be a problem for them.
And so that when you're normally fighting, that's what you use. And the longer you're in that mode, you start gaining experience for being in that mode, and you unlock new abilities that you can use while you're in that mode. Then you can do you transform in your Shinobi transformation, and you turn into your like Shinobi form, which is the ninja form.
Yeah.
And when in that mode, it's the same thing as Frenzy. You have skills that you can unlock the more you use it. Your attack power is up, your defense power is up. And then you have new skills you can use, like special abilities. You can do Shinobi secret attacks. Yeah, there's no nudity in this game. And then there's,
they walk that line.
then there's a frenzy mode. In frenzy mode, you in a frenzy rip off your clothes to wear your undergarments.
So you're not,
Well, so the thing is, in frenzy mode, your attack power is ridiculously high, but your defense is ridiculously low.
because you have no clothes.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. On my stream last Thursday, I frenzied, and as soon as I did, the enemy used an attack, killed me in one hit. Because I was in the frenzy mode where I have like no defense.
Or close.
Yeah, or close. And so it's kind of like the pros and cons. And so whenever you go into one of these modes, specifically I guess your Shinobi transformation, if any of your clothes have been ripped off before, you get them back and you gain health back. So that's kind of like a thing. You don't necessarily want to transform right away, because that's kind of like maybe halfway through the battle, you'll be low in health, then you can transform, you get all your health back, and now you're more powerful. So there is an actual like kind of balance to the fighting.
What's that door?
I like Apron Lady.
There's a door.
So
She walked up to a door or like
it
a wall,
swung?
and
Oh,
it
yeah,
swung
yeah.
around.
Yeah, that's how you enter the areas. That's going into missions. I was doing like the story mission.
This looks interesting, Nolan. It looks interesting.
And so
I've been thinking about getting a PlayStation TV. Is this worth it?
Is this the game?
Is
that
this
does
on
it?
the list?
if you can get it for $40. So what I will say is I captured this footage and I didn't skip any scenes, but when I was playing this on my own, I started skipping those transformation scenes where they like rip off, because I actually do enjoy playing the game and I kind of want to like.
And you kind of watch them do that over and over and over.
Yeah,
and over
so
again.
eventually you're like, whatever, I'm just gonna skip this. You just tap a button and it skips that transformation scene, and you can go right back to the fighting. And that's kind of what I started
the
doing.
good stuff, as they call it.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But yeah, this one, she has an eye patch, and so I gave her another eye patch.
No. What is that? What is with the eye
Why is
patches?
she
There are
wearing
3
two
eye
eye
patches and 2 characters on the screen.
I feel like we need to call up David or something. What is with the eye patches?
That's a thing, right?
So
that's like a
these two particularly have eye patches.
that's like a fetish
that's
thing.
what that character has.
Can they see through the eye
hold on. The one on the left is the character that's in the school I'm at. This one's from a rival school. I really don't know anything about her.
Could you put the eye patch on her like boob?
Sure. Yeah, why not? Dude, y'all, I didn't
It's
get any
actually,
footage.
that sounds like a pretty sophisticated accessory system.
No, it is. I didn't get any footage. I forgot the main character, not the main character. I guess the one you start as when you start this school. I gave her like giant rabbit ears. They're huge, and then she has underwear that's falling down, but it comes out to like here on one side. And so when she runs around, she just has like underwear sticking like 4 feet off her body. They're like huge.
What?
Because like I said, you can change the size of them. You can make them as big or small as you want.
That is pretty interesting though. That you can just completely like
Do whatever you want.
Yeah,
Tails of has
Yeah,
completely,
that's,
like-
a lot of chatters have commented that Tails has a
That's the
similar
word I'm looking
system. But no, this particular one, there is some apparently lore behind her eye patch. Characters have commented on it in the past, and she got really defensive about it, and like, oh, what's underneath it? And so I thought it would be funny if I just gave her another eye patch.
That's the thing. In anime, like the pervy anime, the eye patch girl, it's not like a pirate eye patch. It's a medical eye patch. Like something's wrong with her eye.
The medical eye patch is the one I put on.
No, what I'm saying, in a lot of
like
the
thing, like the eye patch.
the thing is not that they're pirates. It's that
they're weakened in some
something
way.
is wrong with their eye.
Their defense is
Like
low.
you just got surgery.
There's like they have pink eye or some shit. It's like
You had to go there.
it's like that's part of the fetish, you know.
Okay.
Like she accidentally grazed her eyeball with her pacifier, and now she has pink eye.
I can't see depth.
That's a different character, Brad. Don't be.
She grazed her
don't be
eyeball with her own.
Don't be racist.
Her own butt pacifier.
But passive, butt
I'm gonna have to like wiki that or something. I need to understand.
Maybe.
Oh my lord! All right.
Yeah, I said in the trailers for this game, of which I've done plenty, I'm sure. There are some cool weapons in this game, especially the one that's coming out this summer or whatever.
Yeah, Estival
there's like
versus.
some really cool weapon designs and whatnot. And
That's a giant squid.
you see, like you
That's
see.
what I was saying. Hey, look at this attack versus the other one. Like they all have very different attack patterns and different fighting styles, and so and the thing is, I've only played 5 of the like 20 different girls that are in this game that are all very unique. It almost kind of makes me want to play as those other ones to just explore the game. I mean, at this point, I've kind of gotten my eyes filled with all I'm going to see, and I'm still playing it.
Prince of the Universe says, Brad, in some anime, it's supposed to make the girl look damaged or disturbed, which is in some ways a fetish.
Yeah, that's what I said. She looks damaged.
I can see it's kind of hot.
Like her defense is low, so it's easier to get her. Is that what you're saying?
Oh my
Are
god.
we still calling this kind of thing fan service?
That is what they call it.
All right. So we need to take
Whoa,
a...
was that a machine gun umbrella?
Yeah, no, her special attack, like, yeah, she shoots bullets, and her special attack, she shoots like giant ones, or she brings out like a Gatling gun or something. Her like umbrella turns into a Gatling gun.
My recommendation to anyone listening to this at home is to, if you're unsure about what we're looking at here, check out the YouTube video because there's lots of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
So we need to take a break. We're coming up at the end of the first segment here. We'll come back. We'll cover a few more. There's probably a few little things we want to bring up impressions-wise, but we're going to spend most of the second half of the show talking about some news. There's some pretty big news this week that's worth talking about. So hang around. If you're watching us live, stick with us, and I guess we'll be back in just a second.
Yeah.
Don't all answer me at once.
This might seem weird, but if I was gay, like if I was gonna be gay,
If you chose to be gay because it's a choice.
if I was if I was born gay,
Is that what you're saying, Brad?
if I was born gay,
Okay.
I would probably choose like a cleaner man.
Reborn says dudes are very gross, but then you find one that's less gross, and it's okay.
That's what I'm saying. If I was gay, I'd probably like cleaner men and less gross.
not yourself.
Gross. Yeah, I wouldn't like a dude like myself.
Hold on a second. Hold on a
You
second.
ever have this conversation with Malia?
Well,
Malia, why do you like Brad?
He's gross.
she says because I'm warm.
Oh my
And because I'm tall.
So that's all you got going for you.
Yeah,
You're
I
warm
think
and
that's-
tall.
I think that's all she says.
Oh my god.
And you're bringing in all this podcast money.
That's true. Exactly. The podcast money.
What are we even talking about?
I don't know.
We're supposed to be talking about video games, not men. This is not the men cast, although it is kind of a sausage fest in here.
Large space.
Hey, that's a
I'm just
fairly
saying, I wouldn't be into hairy dudes.
Well, because you would be like a bear. And
Hey, that's a fairly
But
common.
but you do realize there are some women who are into that.
That's a fairly common comment, though.
So if I was gay, I'd be a bear. Are most bears into other bears?
I'm sure there are bears who are into bears.
Probably.
What are we even?
I'm sure there are
talking
bears who are into not bears.
Yeah.
I believe they're called twinks.
about? I don't even know what's happening.
I don't know either.
Why is it? It's always the second segment. The past 2 weeks, the second segment has gotten out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well,
I can't concentrate with all this stuff. Reborn is.
Maybe you should be
saying.
more of a manly man, Brad.
Oh my
Can you change a tire?
No, listen, women. Listen, I get it. Like, women are gross too. Trust me, they can be gross.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like,
Is this the podcast?
yeah,
You like when they smell nice?
yeah. I like when they smell nice. Yeah, exactly. I like when they smell nice. You know what? Men deodorant smells like shit.
Hey, my
It smells
my
bad.
deodorant doesn't smell like shit.
I like my deodorant.
Dude, I found
Well, you guys are gay.
Wait, are you spreading poop under your arms?
It's a little sweet. It's a little spicy.
You do know I use Apple Mango Tango fabric detergent.
It smells good.
It smells delightful.
Exactly.
my cologne smells really nice. It's really good.
It probably sucks.
Wait, what brand cologne do you use?
I don't know. I use like Dove for men.
Okay.
What? Well, that's
there's
why.
your
Wait, no, that's
mistake.
deodorant, right? Not
Dude,
cologne.
deodorant.
I'm not
okay.
using anti-perspirant.
I went to a
cologne.
high-class cologne shop, and my girlfriend picked it. Okay.
No, I don't like most. I don't like most for men products because they smell like mountains and shit.
I would.
Well, you don't have to
I
get
just,
shit that smells like mountains.
I just like a clean
What
smell.
does a mountain
It's so
smell
hard
like?
just to find a non-overpowering clean smell.
I just picked one. I would pick them up off the shelf, and I would spray it on me, and I would see which ones would make my girlfriend come closer to me. See what I'm saying?
Well,
If I
now we're talking
sprayed
about
it-
cologne and deodorant.
If I sprayed it and then she walked away, I'd be like, all right, not that one.
Dude, I've used Old Spice, like deodorant, like the fresh, like the original, like for like
Fresh?
my entire
Seriously,
life.
guys,
Yeah.
It's
as far as
overpowered,
cologne
man.
goes, you got to spend the money to get. You got to spend the money.
No, I
I spent more money on my cologne than I ever have in my life,
dude,
and it's
my
awesome.
my cologne came with a fucking like luggage, like a carrying, like
Okay,
thing.
mine did not come with its own luggage.
This is going to be the last controversial thing I'll say.
Oh,
And then we
Oh
can
my
move
god,
on.
I can't even wait. I can't even wait for this.
Liking?
Manscaping.
No, not manscaping. No, that's a thing. I can't say this. This is offensive.
Hey, use my going off script overlay.
Yep,
Sorry.
Manscaping.
yep.
Is that like necessary?
Is there something about like women that's kind of gay?
I don't follow.
Wait, what? Like women are gay or liking women is gay?
Liking women is gay.
like when she puts her fist up your butt, like that. Is that what you're talking about?
My mind is exploding here. Like, I mean,
I don't follow.
Video games.
What's gay about? Nothing. There's anything wrong with it. But in your
So
opinion,
you're
what
saying
is-
being gay is ultimately the less gayer of the two choices.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on.
I don't know anymore.
We're gonna go ahead and move on. We're gonna try and focus on video games now. We should come up with a 4-player. We should come up with a 4-player scent.
There are places that you
think
can
about it.
you can create your own colognes. There are places that you can go and create your own. Like they have a bunch of different scents, and you combine them and make like your own scent. You can choose like sandalwood and whatever.
Gee, Faust gets it.
What does he get?
Oh, because you have to make yourself appealing to female sensibilities, which is inherently feminine. So you have to kind of like feminine up a little bit
it all
for girls
comes
to
full
like
circle.
Well,
you.
I'm just saying, like, if we like the way the women smell,
Wait, so
and they
hold-
smell like flowers, but liking flowers is a feminine thing, does that mean liking that is feminine?
No.
Well,
This is the classic means to an end debate.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't think that's the case.
I just like boobs. Let's move on.
No, that I will agree with that. When we were in France, we went to this like fancy like French cologne place or like perfume shop. Where they showed us like all the fucking there's people who get paid like shit tons of money because their nose is good enough to be able to discern these 200 different scents, and they literally are paid to like create scents and all this shit, and they have to train for however many years to do it. And like the different types of perfume and how most perfume and cologne that's sold here is what they call in France eau de toilette, which is in English toilet water, is what they call it.
It's always
But actual perfume is actually a lot more expensive because it's like all
because
the
there's
shit.
people in them. There's hookers.
Yeah, exactly. They ground up bits of hooker and they put it in the bottle. Yeah,
Guys,
and you
I
shake
think we should consider cutting the second.
There's like a movie or something I saw.
I have no idea. What
I
you're
think
talking
we should consider just making this a 1-segment podcast because we clearly can't handle 2.
No, okay. Very briefly, can I just say, I'm playing more Axiom Verge. It's really fucking cool because I keep getting all these crazy upgrades, and it's got that, like, I feel like I'm getting powerful, you know? Not powerful, but like, you know, my mobility and stuff. Like I'm doing things. Like I have a grappling hook now, and you can use it anywhere. It's not just like Super Metroid where you can only use it in some spots. You can use it anywhere. I have the ability to like fucking like, you know, before I had to like glitch through a wall by like kind of holding up against it and like just waiting for me to glitch through. Now I can just
that is pretty.
Oh my
cool.
god!
quickly
Ed
glitch all over the place.
already made a poll on 4playernetwork.com asking which cologne based
Oh, God
or
damn
which
it.
4-player scent would you use if it was a cologne?
Number 3.
Uh,
He used your computer to vote for himself, Brad.
There's already votes. All
Who
right.
did he vote for?
I guess at the end of the podcast we'll ask who. We'll find
He
out.
voted
who,
for himself.
Go to
See, he would see. That's just weird.
all right.
Essence du Crispin.
Yeah. Hey, look! Someone chose me.
Damn it.
I have 2 votes.
All right, let's have
somebody-
Chris Davis. Please do not show that again.
I
for
think
the rest
Chris
of the
Davis is
podcast.
gonna
Somebody
win
vote for me.
We'll
The
check in.
landslide.
We'll check in with that poll at the end of the podcast. So be sure to head on over if you're watching us live to 4playernetwork.com. Click the link that someone posted in chat. Vote in the poll. Let us know whose cologne or whose scent you
All right.
you would use. Whose scent would you pay good money for?
All right, back to Axiom Verge. It's getting really good, but it's also the more I play it, the weirder it gets. Like there's a very strange like passcode thing where you kind of enter codes like you would in an NES game.
Like if you die or something, you can enter a code to go back to where
it's
you
just
were.
something in the menu, and you can enter weird codes, and you don't know what. And I'm picking up all these notes that are in some weird like gobbledygook language. It's like nothing, right? Like what does this shit mean? It's very Fez-like.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And someone said, "Wait a minute, enter Justin Bailey into the code thing," and I'm like, okay. And he said, like, that's a code you did back in Metroid, and I did. And all of a sudden, I'm wearing like a onesie, or not a onesie, like a
leotard.
leotard. Well, like
What's Zero Suit
I
Samus?
have no pants. Yeah, I'm like a Zero Suit Samus dude.
Yeah.
And I have in my bare legs, and I'm prancing around, and it's so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. But yeah, it's a weird game. It's getting cool. The other game I've been playing, yeah, it was Dom Yang, who had no idea. He just knew that back in Metroid you did that,
Good job,
which was
Dom.
cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like a swimsuit, like a one-piece swimsuit. Yeah. So, and I've also been playing more Pillars of Eternity. I'm getting pretty far in that game. There's not much more to say except it's finally clicking for me. I'm in it now. You know, it's not that I love that combat, but I definitely have figured it out. It shines because there's a lot of really cool skills. Like I have this skill with my Cypher now, who's like a scientist, and she creates a mind beam to another person on the battlefield, and this giant beam will like damage anything that's in between me and the scientist. So I just move her behind all the enemies, and I'm just walking back and forth as this giant beam's going from her head to like another person is damaging everybody in between.
This
It's
sounds
just
very weird, but I like it.
stuff like that. It's really cool. I'm having fun with it. I'm at this point where I'm wondering if maybe I should bump up the difficulty because I feel like I'm kind of really stomping the game, but I'll definitely be playing more of that on the feed, usually earlier in the day when less people will cry about that. But yeah,
Cool.
that's what I've been
Anybody
playing.
have any other one-offs they want to mention?
Nope. I've been playing Dark Souls, Senran, Kagura. I mean, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and my Uncharted Let's Play, but that's it.
Cool.
I started
No free
Batman
time.
Arkham Origins.
For the second time.
For the second time.
It's
It's still disappointing.
is that a
You know,
I
it's
just
really
feel bad. I feel bad for you.
I centralize. I mean, it's not a terrible
bad.
game.
I feel bad that
It's
you're
not a terrible
excited
game.
about replaying through the series, and that's the one you had to start.
No,
with.
no, I would rather start with that than end with
Yeah,
it, though.
start at the weak
Fair
one and
enough.
then end with the high note.
yeah, I'd rather like end on Arkham City and then be ready for Arkham Knight. you
Yeah.
know? But I've kind of centralized my disappointment of this game to the bosses. The bosses are either like they're just not fun. None of the bosses I've done the electrocutioner fight, which was one button.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
it's like he like charges up his suit. He's like, "Let's go, Batman!" And then you walk up to him, Batman just like knocks him out in one hit.
I mean,
And then
that was pretty cool,
And
though.
then I did. Yeah, I mean it's funny for like a gag, but like that's all that character does.
let's
That
be-
character gets
that's-
killed
that's
off
his
after
extent.
that.
crispy,
Yeah.
crispy.
And then the only other contribution that character makes is giving you the shot gloves, which I don't like anyway. I think they kind of
I
corrupt the
actually
combat
really
of
liked
that
the
game.
fight with Deathstroke.
I played that fight like 4 times last night, and every time I failed, the game crashed.
oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that fight was infuriating for the longest time because like I just feel like there's so much that you need to be looking out for, but it's not telling you what to look out for. I don't know. And I can never tell like what's me actually just controlling Batman and fighting and what is like a quick time event, you know? Because that fight transitions back.
We
and forth
definitely. I
between
remember
those.
this conversation from months ago.
Yeah.
After playing Asylum City, I will say, I feel like for the most part, there's an occasional exception, like gimmicky exceptions, but it's not a series of great boss fights. What's cool about those Arkham games are like just the hand-to-hand combat when you're fighting a bunch of dudes and when you're like stalking people.
Well, that's
what
example.
And the world
Batman's
is
A
good
good
at.
example of why these
I'm
are
seeing the
kind of
gameplay.
worse than they have been is like Bane. Okay, you fight Bane several times in a lot of these games, and
Yeah.
that was always really fun because it would be a lot of series of like dodging, trying to trick him into running into things, and then they'd throw in like these random enemies that you'd have to be fighting like along with him, and in the other Arkham games, those situations always seem like they were piling more shit on you, and you're like, oh no, like how am I gonna get through this fight? And then you realize that there's a trick to actually turning disadvantages into advantages. You know, like you're like riding on like the Titan soldiers or like Bane, and he's like swinging his arms, knocking other dudes out. That was really cool. In this game, they kind of pile that all on, but none of it ever synergizes in a satisfying way. There's just more shit to deal with shit. You know, it's not very fun. And the Mr. Freeze boss fight is still one of my
Everyone says
favorite
that,
boss
yeah.
fights ever
Yeah.
in any game. And they redid that boss fight in the DLC for this game for the Cold Heart, and it's terrible. It kind of is like the sterling example of how the design team for Arkham Origins saw everything that Rocksteady was doing for Asylum and City, and you know they saw like, oh, those were really cool moments. Let's replicate them in our game, but they kind of
failed.
missed the point of
Yeah.
why those moments were cool. You know?
Yeah.
Like they tweaked them in a way that completely undercut what was neat about them the first time.
That sucks.
You know, I don't know, but I think I'm like halfway through the game now, so like I won't be playing this one for much longer.
Barrel through it, then you can
Yeah.
start. We're gonna do Asylum
And
next.
then we'll go to I'll probably try Blackgate
Okay.
because I've never played that. And then once I'm done with Blackgate, then I'll go Asylum and City.
Just
Cool.
do it. Analyze the level design because it's weird.
Of
Black.
I expect a full report back from you on
Yes.
Blackgate, Crispy.
Okay.
On a future episode of the show.
You got it.
All right. Well, let's get into news. There's a few things, a few big things this week. Who wants to start? Brad? How about you?
Sure. There was a new Nintendo Direct, and they announced a couple of Fire Emblem games. The one I'm going to talk about is the bullshit. Well, maybe they're both bullshit, or maybe they're both cool. But there's a new Fire Emblem game coming to the 3DS. It has a weird name, like all these, but like both the games do. I don't know. But it's here's the twist. They're doing 2 versions, supposedly, like kind of like Pokemon style. 2 Fire Emblems with 2 different stories. At least after the first few chapters, the story goes completely different. And it's 2 different Fire Emblem games after that point. I don't think
So
there's
wouldn't
gonna
that normally be? I mean, it's a bad thing in that you have to buy 2 games, but it's a good thing because it's 2 games and fans
well,
of
it
Fire
depends on how
Emblem.
different
nothing
they are.
about it is good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, a lot of people I was seeing online. A lot of people seem pretty fucking excited about it.
Well, no, people are excited for a new Fire Emblem game. Like, straight up, people are excited. There's some people that are skeptical about this. Some of the information I think about the US version isn't out there, but what I'm hearing is that you can buy.
Damn, I love my wife who
opposite-
says if you get the download version, it has both storylines.
Yeah, I don't know. There's the information out there is a little hazy, I think. It's not very clear, especially what it's going to be like over here. But I think that you buy one of the versions and you can later buy the other version's storyline as DLC
Yeah.
for the version that you got. Something like that. But either way, it really does seem kind of like a money grab. And that's what I don't.
Is that coming to the West, or is that only announced
for
in Japan?
sure,
right
yeah.
now?
no,
sure.
that definitely will.
Yeah, Awakening did really well over here. But you're saying you don't mind two Fire Emblem games, but the differences I feel like are not going to be.
It's one of those situations where the differences are so few. There's no point in playing both, really.
Yeah, but you still at the same time feel like maybe you're kind of missing out and getting a little ripped off, because there's been Fire Emblem games in the past that have had like kind of multiple modes a little bit. You know, like when you started out Fire Emblem 7, you did, you know, a section of the story as Lyn, and then before you moved on, and then there's even like a Hector hard mode you can do, I think, after you beat the game. But all that was in the game. All that was in the one game, and I feel like they're kind of doing that this time around, but they're splitting it up into two different versions. And yeah, the stories are different, but I don't think the gameplay is going to be all that different. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So it might seem a little redundant to play it twice. It's I don't know. It's weird. Odysseus knows, or Ed.
That's Ed, Brad.
Yeah, come on, Brad.
God damn it.
I think they saw how well Awakening did, and they're like, let's Pokemonify this shit.
Oh,
like,
damn,
right
I
away.
love my wife who
So
made a correction.
I
It gives you
can't-
the choice to download which version you want.
I can't.
Locks the other one.
I can't wait for this game, but we have to wait till 2016 while Japan is getting it in a few months, I believe. So that's
Well, that's par for the course. Well, speaking of Fire Emblem, Nolan.
No,
what's
that's
up?
it. That's the last Fire Emblem game we're going to talk about on the podcast, because this other game, Nolan, is not even remotely a Fire Emblem game.
Is it not? So
Brad just can't,
one of the
Brad,
other games
Brad
they
can't
announced
find his happy place. He hates
is,
everything.
Have you seen the trailer? Did you watch Trailer Talk?
No.
You son of
Although
a
I'm not
bitch.
a big fan of. I mean,
of Trailer Talk.
Fire.
Well, you might be
Talk.
a fan of whatever the fuck this game is.
Maybe. I don't know.
Fire Emblem versus or Cross, what do you want to call it, versus Persona.
It's
so-
Shin Megami versus.
They
Fire
both
Emblem.
have weird
Whatever
new
you wanna
names
call
now,
it.
actually.
Yeah, they do. They
But
have
yeah,
weird.
this
But it's
is-
essentially what it is. It's Fire Emblem meets Persona. And Fire Emblem is a series I've always had trouble getting into. I've played them and I've enjoyed them, but for some reason I just had trouble getting into them. But I've always enjoyed the Persona games. And so like Brad was saying, like maybe this is one I'll get into, but I really don't know what it is yet. Like what they showed is really weird, and like I don't know if the world was a fully fleshed out character running around a bunch of silhouettes. And it was very confusing.
It seems very Persona. Like you're
Yeah,
in
it
a
seems more
school-
Persona than Fire Emblem. But there is going to be fighting and
But see, the gameplay is nothing like Fire Emblem from what we've seen. It didn't even remotely look like Fire Emblem. There was like multiple characters and like weird like time bars and stuff. It's not Fire Emblem, which is the weirdest thing to me, because it's like the only thing you take from Fire Emblem is the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like the story and the characters is different in every single Fire Emblem game. You know, it's not the lore of the world that makes Fire Emblem exciting, really. It's the type of game that it is. So the fact that they're merging with Fire Emblem, but they're not taking gameplay elements from Fire Emblem is super fucking confusing to me. It's like what's the point? It's like it doesn't make sense to me. It's like
No, I know
Final
what you're
Fantasy
saying.
Tactics merging with Pokemon But now there's no strategy RPG. Like there's no grid based strategy RPG at all. So
Yeah.
what are you really taking from Final Fantasy Tactics? Because that was the hook to Final Fantasy Tactics. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Rusting Burr says it's Persona dipped in some Fire Emblem, which sounds weird.
That
Some
does.
Fire Emblem lore.
I don't know, but it's coming to the Wii U, which
Also,
that needs some games.
yeah.
Also, aesthetically, the Fire Emblem universe characters don't resemble aesthetically Fire Emblem at all. Like either, like it doesn't look like Fire Emblem.
No, I
You know,
agree.
like
It definitely
Fi-
does not.
For a Japanese developed RPG, Fire Emblem is actually it's usually very much rooted in like kind of like medieval, like a medieval setting, and it's kind of understated, I guess you could say, compared to a lot of other crazy Japanese RPGs. I mean, no one's wearing like these ridiculous fucking outfits. It's like a dude in armor, and sure, this princess has a dress on, but everybody else is in armor. It's not like there is this colorful character riding a robot unicorn with jetpack legs. Like, what the
Sounds
fuck
pretty
is
good.
that? Like, I don't know what that is. Is
That's
that Fire
amazing.
Emblem?
That is amazing.
That's definitely a lot more Persona than Fire Emblem.
But that was the Fire Emblem element, right? Was like this character was flying in like, I'm from Fire Emblem.
Is there a
But they're on
fabulous
a
pony?
maybe they're on a Persona.
Yeah.
I don't know to what extent that's going to play a role.
Yeah, that's
but-
what it's like. It's like the persona, the supernatural aspect of this Shin Megami Tensei game is Fire Emblem.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
we'll
I don't know
kind
what to think
we'll
about
kind
that
of have to
one, but
wait
yeah.
and see.
We do have to wait and see. I mean, I'm not poo-pooing this. It's just not what I was expecting.
You're not
at all.
Okay. All right. So I have a quick one. I want to bring up. This is big news for us, I suppose. This is an announcement that we've been waiting for a very long time, and it's finally happening. Fatal Frame 5 is coming to the West. Confirmed, official.
It's about time.
It's about time. So that's weird. It's weird to think about too, because Fatal Frame 4 didn't.
No, it never did.
So 1, 2, 3, and 5 did. That's just.
Are they gonna call it
I
5?
wonder. It has a subtitle. I don't remember what it is, to be honest. I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to it. I wasn't going to pay a whole lot of attention to it until I knew for sure it was coming here. And now that it is, I'm excited. I think it's October is what they're saying, right? Right.
I hope so.
I mean, I would imagine
that
it's
would be great.
that would be great. I'm going to go ahead and pitch it to you right here, Brad. I actually pitched this to you in Hip Chat today, but I didn't hear a response. Did you see my message?
No.
Launch day, Fatal Frame 5, dual stream broadcast. You and I start the game at the exact same time.
What, a race?
No, just play at the same time, so people can choose between who's screaming their head off the most.
Well, that's interesting.
I'm tired of Brad screaming.
Watching one scream or
watch
one,
the other
one,
person
one
scream.
thing, and it's like ah, and you click over right in the middle, and it's like Nick going ah.
Exactly. It would be awesome. It would be awesome, and I think
That would be interesting. But I think people might actually just rather watch us both play because they both want to see us play.
They probably want to see you.
Fatal
I don't want to
Frame.
play
I
this
mean,
game in the
I'm
same
not-
room with you.
Yeah.
No, I'm
No,
saying
on your
saying
own.
they want me to play and watch you to play it because it's Fatal Frame, and they want to watch us both play it, but maybe not literally at the same time.
Or you could do a real doozy, do a dual stream broadcast, and have the audio for both channels going at the same time.
No,
I
that's a
want
horrible
to
idea.
watch you guys both play because I'm sure shit not gonna play it. Fuck that.
Well, maybe
Dude,
Crispy will play.
do you know how out of practice I am? I haven't played Fatal Frame since 3, and that was back in the early days of 4Player. Like, I don't even... It's been a long time. That game terrifies me. It terrifies me, so yay.
Crispy, you come over. We'll play Fatal Frame.
Yeah.
I won't make you play.
Can you hold
but you have to
hands?
watch.
Can I bring my blankie and nightlight?
No,
Yes.
don't worry, Crispy. Brad is big and warm.
Yes,
Okay.
tall and warm.
see
you
that.
fucker.
I can see that.
Tall.
Big and tall.
Oh my lord. So
Tall.
yeah, Fatal Frame 5 coming to the West. That's exciting. That's very exciting. Crispy?
Yes.
You're
Okay,
the only non-Nintendo
so-
news this week.
Yeah, this what? The only non-what?
Nintendo.
Non-Nintendo news.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't a big deal. It's just that apparently it was leaked that there's a new Deus Ex game coming out.
Not only is it leaked, it's officially
Yeah,
It's official.
confirmed
It's
now.
confirmed.
It's,
now,
yeah,
yeah.
it's the Game Informer cover for this month. So it's called Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, It is a direct sequel to Human Revolution. Takes place about 2 years after. Sorry, I'm just looking at all the
I'll be
stuff
honest,
right here.
guys. Just right out of the gate, I'll be honest. I was crossing my fingers this was going to end up being a Deus Ex game.
Mm-hmm.
A little disappointed that it's a direct sequel to Human Revolution. Not because I didn't love Human Revolution, which I did.
Yeah.
But I was kind of always under the impression. I mean, I haven't played every Deus Ex game ever made, but like,
That's cool.
I feel like Deus Ex is one of those franchises that kind of reinvents itself every time it releases a new game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well-
could be wrong.
Well,
No. I mean, that's just kind of how it ended up.
Yeah,
because-
that's they did it on purpose. It's just how it, how it ended
So
up being.
I was
interesting
really kind of
because,
hoping this one would be a kind of a fresh
or
take on it.
yeah,
But, hey, but you know, I loved Human Revolution, so more of that is great. But anyways, continue.
yeah. I've only ever played Human Revolution. Actually, I've never
Yeah.
played any of the other Deus Ex.
I've only played about half of the first one.
So Adam Jensen
Outside
is
of-
basically all I know. Deus Ex.
What I want to
Well,
know,
you're gonna get more of them.
why was someone in chat saying that the inventory is gone? Is it
That's a
because
good question.
I don't know. I haven't read anything about there not being an inventory. A lot of what I have been reading seems to indicate that they want to balance out the viability of like gunplay versus stealth. Because if you played Human Revolution, stealth was kind of like the way to go.
Yeah, for the most part.
They said they
You
spent-
could, yeah, you could do the run and gun method, but it was really like that game kind of was designed with stealth in mind. I feel like, especially the way like the levels were laid out and everything. It seems like they're trying to balance that out without diminishing any one part of that. As far as
So one of the things I read, so they spent like several years trying to hone and like improve the gunplay. So that's one thing. So this game, I have a feeling this game is going to feel borderline like a shooter. You know, with
Yeah,
stealth.
I don't think it's a
Don't
pretty
say
shooter.
that.
I mean, what do you want me to tell? That's one thing I'm worried about. I mean, looking at the screenshots, some of these screenshots look a little shootery. Ah!
But Human Revolution.
But
That's
on
what we were
top
all
of
worried
that-
about Human Revolution being, but they kind of nailed it.
Okay, but on top of that, not just the guns, but they've also added twice as many augmentations this time around. So there's a lot more.
That's definitely good.
There's a lot more going on with like Adam's actual abilities beyond guns and weapons.
The one thing I'm liking from what we've seen of these screenshots is the lack of like golden hue.
Oh yeah,
There's-
yeah, it was so yellow the last time around.
There's still hints
And-
of it.
Definitely
if it
a
makes
lot
you feel
less.
better, Brad, like the examples of some of the new augmentations they gave, most of them did seem like they were kind of more like stealth based, like less on like full frontal.
It shouldn't just be
full frontal.
stealth.
I want to
No,
a good
but like
mix of all.
it was less of like they weren't augments that play into making you better with guns, you know. So it was stuff like he can they have silent running now. He can run quietly across any
I'll take
surface, and you can do that. You can. It says you can combine that with cloaking. The Pep's gun, which is a non-lethal weapon that's actually attached to his bionic arm. They have a new thing called the Cassie, which is kind of like the they had that pheromone analyzer thing where you could. It was like a social interaction. So like if you were talking to somebody, you could get a sense of like what kind of brainwaves or whatever. They're doing.
Yeah.
This one actually just analyzes mental state to help you like pick the best response to different questions. This one sounds pretty cool. It's called Tesla. He's got like these little darts that he shoots out of his knuckles that you can tag enemies and like it says little darts pop out of Jensen's knuckles, allowing him to tag enemies and take them out quietly. So
Wait, you
like
when you
stealth
tag
darts?
them? Like in most games, you would tag them with like a device that like marks them on a screen
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But now you actually physically tag them with like a projectile.
it sounds like the shootout.
That's interesting.
So it's like I'm gonna tag you with this projectile before I kill you.
Well, I don't know if it's like a.
It's like a tracker.
well, let's
I don't
not,
know if it's a tracker. If
we
it's
don't
like
know
you
anything
can
about
trigger
it.
something later.
Let's not
I don't know,
spend too
but-
much time on it.
I want exploration.
Yeah, that's the main
You
thing I
know,
want.
like hacking
They-
and
they-
lockpicking
I haven't
and
seen anything about
and
hacking specifically, but
areas that aren't all about combat.
Yeah.
No. They said you
they
could,
talk a lot about like branching paths on missions. So like apparently, this one has a lot of play into different factions. So you'll be working for this task force that's part of Interpol, but you're also like you can pass off intel to like these other kind of like covert groups, and you can even get like assistance on some missions from like the mob, and they say like later on you'll be doing story missions, and they'll call you up with like to call in a favor that kind of like interrupts your mission, or you have to like add objectives onto it. They had a situation where they were talking about him going after an informant who was in police custody, and he could either like cause a scene with the police to try to get closer to the informant, or he could go track down the informant's wife and try to like get information from her, or he could just be exploring the world and find like the base that he's trying to find this informant to get information about, just kind of like naturally.
So you can bypass that naturally?
Yeah, you can completely like bypass the whole area just by like stumbling onto what he was looking for.
That sounds pretty cool.
I like that concept, but in a lot of situations like that where you can do that, I almost don't want to, just because I kind of want to explore.
You feel like
the
you're
area.
cutting out.
Yeah,
it's
like
nice
I'm
to know it's
missing.
an option, though.
Yeah, no.
I just
But if you didn't know anything about it, and then like later on after the fact someone was talking about that, and you're like, oh, what? There was a whole mission to find that? You know?
Human Revolution was at its worst, I think, when you were on like the linear
The mission
The
part
missions,
where you're
the
just
missions.
shooting dudes
Yeah.
down
When you were out of the
hallways.
hub world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the best
so-
part is in the hub world, doing side quests, exploring. You
Like
know,
just talking to women on the street, and they're like, "Oh, this guy beat me up. Go
And
do
then
this."
punching
And then
her
you,
out.
yeah, exactly. And then you can fucking like you can break into a building, or you can go to the air vents, or you can do this, or
Yeah.
the fact that there was also no loading during those
Yeah.
areas was
Dude,
amazing.
that was a pretty cool game.
Yeah, no,
Dude,
that was a good
that
game.
game was fantastic. One thing I liked the structure, the world structure of Human Revolution, but I was a little surprised that there was not, at least in the details that I read, there didn't seem to be any mention of like any major changes to like the way the world is structured in this
setup.
game.
Yeah.
It didn't seem
Hopefully
to say
it's
anything
similar.
like,
Well, it's
you know,
a
this is
so
open
it's a
world.
PS4, Xbox One game, so hopefully that
have to imagine
implies that these will be like larger, kind of more
Who's developing this game?
Eidos Montreal.
Eidos Montreal, same. Okay.
Eidos,
So
whatever.
there's one thing I'm hoping that is different.
Eidos Montreal.
Okay.
I pray and fucking hope they don't outsource the bosses again.
Oh no, they
Is that
said
what they did last
they
time?
said something
Yeah.
about spending a lot of time improving the bosses.
Because in
as
the
well.
last game, they outsourced,
Those
like
were terrible.
Grip something was like they outsourced to some other team, to some other company, and the other company did all of the boss fights, which is why they were all
How do
fucking
you
horrible.
do that? How do you take something that's like supposed to be like these big set piece moments, have somebody else develop it, and then just plug it into your game?
Chris
Well,
Davis
they
was-
got so much backlash that it's obviously going to be like, hey, man, every time they're talking about the game, they're going to be talking about how much, you know, the bosses are going to be so much better this time around. Which
They
is
better
good.
be.
This is why it's okay to complain about like an aspect of a great game that you think sucks, because if enough people say it, the developers will listen.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
I have no doubt. I'm very excited for this. And
I am.
I think I was just met with a little bit of surprise when I saw that it was Adam Jensen, and it looked, you know, maybe not as yellow, but it was pretty much the exact, like, it looked very Deus Ex-y. Like, I just kind of expected it to be like,
No, so
bold,
that's
new
my thing
Deus
as well.
Ex.
Is it would be nice if it wasn't
Yeah.
Adam Jensen, but I mean, I don't. I'm not going to hate it.
Not that he was I don't think he was a bad
I think
character.
he was a good character. I think it was a good
Hey.
game.
He didn't
I-
ask for this either. So.
I'm ready for more of the same. If it's just as good as Human Revolution. Human Revolution is a game that I bought on PC when it was on a Steam sale, wanting to go back and replay it because I fucking loved it, and I just haven't had the time. And I would love to.
I would love to play more.
So
play
maybe
more Deus
maybe
Ex as
before
well.
this one comes out, I'll try and hit that one.
I wonder
back
if that's
up.
going to come out this year.
I doubt it. We just heard about it.
Yeah, but they've been. It
it's
came out in
early in the year.
2011.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
Oh man, I've never played. I played like an hour or two of Deus Ex 2.
Oh, I've never played two.
I kind of want to do it
Really?
before this one comes out, just to see.
Do
just
it.
to see.
Just to see.
Just to see.
I've just always heard it was kind of a poopy game.
Yeah. Well, it's super disappointing coming off of Deus Ex.
Yeah.
That's the word, but yeah.
Well, I think it's time for the community. Before we do that, reminder: if you're watching us live, you can vote for your preferred 4-player scent right now.
Your sin.
Who's winning? I want to get a quick
So
update.
I don't.
16 votes.
Holy shit! Nolan is winning. Of course, Nolan is winning. What the?
Where's Chris Davis?
That's.
He's down at the
man.
bottom with 10 votes.
I don't believe that.
He took an early lead. Essence of Nolan. What the fuck?
I don't believe that. That's too many. Not that many people like me.
Nolan. At this point, they're voting for you just because
They
they won.
just wanna
Just because
smell
they
like
won.
you.
to laugh because look, Nolan's winning again.
That's silly.
Was that the narrative that's going on in
the
chat?
meme never dies.
Don't
We
do
can
that.
see chat. We know. What's
Anyway,
going on.
moving on. Time for the community. Woohoo! Everyone loves our community, including us.
We do love our community.
So,
We do.
Once again, we're still not caught up on all of our lovely patrons.
we'll never catch up.
Yeah, we will. We will. We're getting
What are we
much
at
closer. How many total?
Yeah.
Or
Total.
as of this list, 109.
Oh, I mean, like how many have we thanked so far?
Oh, we have thanked 70.
Oh, okay, we're catching up. We're catching up.
Yeah. So today is 71 through 80.
These are our personal thank yous, guys.
Yes, to every person who donates or pledges to us on Patreon, we will give those patrons a thank you. So today we have Biohunter,
Yay!
Jacob Y, Mason B, Rocking,
Rocking. Wait. Oh,
Rocking,
Rocking. Like
Yeah.
WRAW.
Yes.
Sorry.
You threw me off.
Sorry.
Joe W, Mighty Joe W, Sean K, Zai, ZAI. How would you?
Zai.
Would it be Zai or
Zia.
Zia?
ZAI.
Oh, ZAI? Zai.
Zai.
Zai? Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan M, Lulu Paddle,
Lulu Paddle.
and
What a good
Curtis
name.
Curtis J.
Curtis Jensen.
Yep. So we want to thank all of y'all for being patrons. We really do appreciate. And there was actually a donation we got this week.
Yes, there was.
Whoa,
Yes,
donations.
someone decided
Somebody
to
found a
donate.
hidden button.
What do we get?
That's on every page of our website, except for the front page right now.
It is, yeah.
We'd put it on there twice if we could.
So we got a donation from Cody H. This was 2 days ago.
Mhm.
He donated a pair of socks, crew socks.
I was on my last pair, so that really helped.
Only a pair.
Yes. Well, no, a pack of crew socks.
Oh, actually, that's expensive.
That should be enough for all of us.
Why are socks and underwear like every time? Like I don't buy them that often, but every time I go buy them, it's like Jesus Christ.
They are expensive, but hot damn, do I love a new pair of socks.
All right.
It's so
Hot.
nice.
I'm still breaking these puppies in.
It's
A
so
hot
nice.
pair of socks. I love it when you
Yeah.
like
But
throw them in the
sometimes
dryer,
I got the
Oh,
fuzzies
yeah,
on the
okay, yeah.
inside.
throw them in the dryer, warm
Wash them
up a
inside
bit,
out.
and slat them on your feet.
Brad, wash your socks inside out, and that'll help with those fuzzies on the
first
inside.
time?
Anytime, every time.
Every
almost.
time.
Yeah.
Every time. For the rest of your
And
life.
that's why the ladies like me, Brad, because I know shit like that. What was I
Wait,
talking
what?
about?
I told
know.
I told Malia that I fixed the door, and then later you told her you fixed the door.
And she was like, wait a second. Somebody lied to me.
Thanks, Nolan.
You're welcome. Just trying to be an honest man. Women like honesty, Brad.
Whatever.
They don't like lying
That's
sacks of
bullshit.
shit.
Women like dudes who can fix shit.
Can I call this show What Women Want? Wait, what was that Mel Gibson movie? Is that what that was called?
Yeah, that was that movie.
What
Malia
Women
hates
Want?
that Malia hates that I don't know anything about cars. She's like, you're a dude. You're supposed to know stuff about cars.
Not every dude knows stuff about cars.
I wish I did. Should be taught in schools.
Yeah, they should. What don't you know about cars? Can you change a tire?
I could change a tire.
Can you change a car battery?
I'm
Can you
talking about-
jumpstart a car?
Yes, I'm talking about like when something goes wrong with the car. You're like, well, I don't know what's wrong with the fucking car.
Well, Brad, it's 2015. Most people probably don't know what's wrong with their cars nowadays. Moving on.
We just learned something about Brad.
Yeah.
Does not know much about cars.
Uh,
Show her your Tim Allen impression. What was your Tim Allen impression again?
I am not a monkey, okay?
Dance! Dance, monkey!
Dance monkey.
We're going for our amusement!
do it! Dance! Dance for the banana!
It's a...
All right, moving on. Also, every week we answer questions from our patrons. Our patrons can go on the activity feed and ask a question, and we will try and answer them. We can't answer them all, but we will try to answer as many as possible. So this week we got a few questions. Our first one is from Otto.
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 Oh, I heard that Auto AUTO. I was like,
Nope.
that's ironic.
With my ongoing frustrations with Twitch and YouTube announcing that they will improve their streaming service for gaming, will you consider streaming away from Twitch to YouTube, especially since they don't seem to delete any of their old broadcasts and looking through old content is far easier?
So
So that's something we haven't talked about really. I
don't
as
think
of this
there's-
time, we don't have any plans on streaming anywhere besides Twitch.
I mean, Twitch will always be our main source of broadcasting, but like, I don't really see any reason to. I'll be honest, I haven't looked too much into YouTube streaming service, but that's probably telling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
No one watches YouTube streams.
Yeah,
There's not
that's true.
it's not nicely organized by game and all that stuff. You know, you can't just say, "Oh, who's playing Pillars of Eternity?"
It's hard to search for a stream browse for a stream on YouTube.
Can you even do that?
Probably not. But that's what I'm saying. Twitch makes it a lot easier. You know, the front page or something that does YouTube have like a front page for streamers?
I don't even.
I don't know.
So automatic, no, as of right now, no. Our next question is from Justin Bieber. He asks, with the success of Bloodborne and the Souls games, do you see games getting more difficult in the future, or do you think it's just going to be for a niche audience and most games will still be mostly pretty easy?
Yep.
I think, first of all, most games being pretty easy is subjective.
It
Two,
is.
I think it's definitely starting a trend where I think making difficult games is kind of coming back as being like a
in
where,
the indie space.
These games, like Bloodborne especially, has been like selling like crazy. Like I'm sure some developer or publisher out there is going to look at that and be like, "Hey, all you have to do to sell games is make it hard." Like,
No, so
Or
that's
get
the
Sony
thing.
first party.
The Bloodborne is not hard because enemies have a lot of health or
No.
they do a lot of damage, and that's the problem with a lot of games. Is sometimes they see, oh, it's hard, so let's make this, and that's like a false difficulty is just so frustrating and the exact opposite of what gamers want. But I will say that yes, I do believe games are kind of easier nowadays, especially when it comes to something like comparing A Link Between Worlds and A Link to the Past. Like the difficulty level in those two games is ridiculously different. Between Worlds is so much easier. I know easy is subjective, but I'm going to say those two games are greatly different. And it's like I said, I recently played the Yoshi's Island 2 or whatever, and I hated that game.
Well,
because what?
Nintendo getting easier. That doesn't.
Yeah, but I mean, and it's I think there's other games not getting more difficult. I guess I don't know. It just it's one of the things I talked about with stuff like Remember Me, where they have basically the line of follow, jump when you're climbing up walls, go here and then go here and then go here, and the fucking lines that point you exactly where to go. And it's just, I guess I think it's less about being easy and more about people not having an attention span.
I think as a
There's-
designer,
there are more games trying to do different things.
the thing is, as a designer, I have a feeling that as a game designer, there is an attraction or there is an appeal to accessibility.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a designer, you naturally want to make the product you're working on more accessible.
True.
So, like, having an epiphany, like an idea like, oh, like in Dead Space, that idea where it's like making the line come out, like from a designer standpoint, that was probably like, holy shit, that's really cool. And it's really aesthetically pleasing, and, it's slick.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe not as much thought was put into that as far as, like, how that's going to affect its difficulty. Because from a designer standpoint, like, a designer may look at it differently.
Or, it's like a crutch that the game is designed around.
That's we don't need
I
to
was
get too
just
much into
using
that.
Dead Space as an
He was.
example.
Okay, so moving on. Next question is from Nick S.
Sorry.
Nick Santa Claus.
not me.
He says,
Nick Sanderson.
would you rather fight one Brad-sized Nick or 100 Nick-sized Brads?
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
The size difference isn't that big.
There's
One
like
Brad
6 inches,
sized Nick
like-
or 100 Nick-sized Brads?
Wait.
Yeah.
That is not
Can the both of you stand up for a second so I can take a look at you
No.
before I answer?
No, because these mics.
You've been around us enough.
Can you like stretch out like so I can get an idea of your
I
scale?
would fight one Brad-sized Nick.
Most people probably would.
Yeah.
100 Nick-sized Brads? That's
That's still a lot of Brads.
I'm not that much bigger.
I'm
That's a lot
afraid.
of
I'm
Brads.
afraid of a Nick-sized Brad because Brad's already got like such a strong personality that I think if he was Nick's height, he might get like this Napoleonic complex.
I think if this was like
100 of me?
if this was like, do you want to fight 100 Joseph or Brad-sized Josephs? Or wait, Joseph-sized Brads or one? God, this is confusing.
You get it the other way around.
Yeah, if you want to, you know what I mean.
Duck-sized Brads or Brad-sized ducks?
Yeah.
See, that'd be a fair question.
All right.
I'm gonna plead the fifth,
Okay. Next
especially
question
since I'm Nick.
is from Piosht.
Piosht.
And he asks, I've been
Piosht.
going back and listening to old
Piosht.
podcasts. It's interesting to hear old predictions and see how your views have changed over time. Do you ever go back and listen to yourselves to see how you've changed throughout the years?
I would love
The
for
answer-
someone to bring up examples of
Yeah,
like
that would be good.
like Brad hated this game and now he loves it, or the opposite
Actually,
or something.
that would be a fun challenge to the community to go back and find clips or audio snippets from old podcasts.
Scavenger hunt.
Where
Go.
we express a certain opinion and then bring it to our attention. I don't know what format. Maybe that's something that would be good for the forums or something.
I don't want to see that. I'm really inconsistent.
Yeah, I mean, Crispy reviewed Batman Arkham Origins at an 8 out of 10.
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
I gave that game
I gave it a 6.
We've
I
had
don't
this
know.
conversation
Every
a
time
few
I think
weeks
about
ago.
that.
You think that I gave it an 8. No, the one that I'm really... Okay, my most inconsistent is I reviewed Borderlands 2, and I think in my review I gave it like a 92 or something.
Wow.
And I really don't like that game anymore. I really liked it when I played it
Was
the
that your
first time.
first review?
I
That was the
remember
first.
that.
That was
Dude,
the first official review. I
My
did
first
for this.
official review was way too
I was
dry
like,
as well.
I was like,
remember that.
review.
I remember that on the podcast because I was playing. I was
was
like,
really
this is
into it.
more of the same. And you were like, you're a fucking idiot, Brad. I remember that.
I didn't say that.
Well, I personally don't go back and listen to old ones just because I hate myself. Like I'm like, no, fuck that guy. Like I don't want to hear it. Like nope. So no, I don't go back.
That's
and listen
like
to old
that's like
stuff.
the panel we did at PAX Prime, which everyone like gave us mad props for, and so that was really cool when we had Jim Sterling on, whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, I kind of hosted. What's the word I'm looking for?
Hosted, moderated.
I moderated the panel, or whatever, and we released it in podcast format. I still can't listen to it. I can't bring myself to listen to it. People were like, "That was really good," and I was like, "Nope, I'm not doing it."
I tried listening to that thing. It was fucking terrible.
What? God damn it, Brad!
No, not you. I'm saying like it's just that panel was awful.
Well, I mean,
Moving
you
on.
weren't great, but
You're scaring me, Brad.
Moving on.
You're scaring me.
Moving on. I was in the audience of that, and I think I enjoyed it.
You were in the audience.
No,
Yes.
people have told me
That
it
was
was
before,
good.
yeah, that was before. I had just recently joined the podcast, and so I wasn't.
No,
like,
I know. Carlos told me it was good, and he hates everything. So
Oh, that's
I'm-
a good sign.
I'm sure it was fine.
Hey, people who listened to it said it was good.
But-
I
But
just
like
Carlos,
when I was on it, I was like, "This is a train wreck. This is a train wreck. This is a train wreck. This is a train wreck." The entire time when I was on it.
fuck.
the thing that got me with not that I think I enjoyed it. I remember enjoying that panel. The panel we did that I really did was when we were at Anime About Sir.
Oh god, don't bring that
And we
up.
were playing clips, and the "Getting Clean Has Never Been So Dirty" or whatever clip came on. And the thing that sucked was before we had taken a bunch of questions from the audience, and this one girl stood up and she's like, "I love your podcast, and I watch stream all the time, and my parents came with me, and they're here, and they wanted to support me with my love for y'all." And she was like 14, and that fucking clip came on, and Brad's like, "You like it?" He's fucking likes it, and he's fucking like doing the shit, and the parents took her, and they stood up, and they walked out.
way.
They walked
No
out.
way.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh, she would have got so much trouble. You watch these people?
It was so bad. I just was like, oh my god. I'm like, why did we put this clip on
I
here?
wonder if
I think that was
I
David
wonder
that
if
put
she
that
ever
on
came
there.
back. Like, I wonder if she ever like watched the podcast.
man.
I hope so.
They went home and like put a block on the website. Like,
Oh my god.
my
I
God.
felt like so bad that her parents were like excited to be there with her because she loved us so much.
she's like, "Oh, this is your little internet."
I
thing."
honestly
You're
think
like,
we probably started with that clip as well because I think at the time that was like one of our biggest like clips on YouTube.
Oh,
And so we're like, yeah, let's lead with this one. Anyway, moving on. Last question for the night.
Oh god, that brought up some bad memories. That was a terrible question.
Sunny H asks, if all of your video games, including whatever is on your backlog, magically finished themselves, what games would you pick up at this very moment and why?
That's assuming it's not on my back. I think
No,
everything.
if everything that you've been meaning to play was just finished, just done, you've already played it, what would you play right now?
Fuck. But
Wait,
everything I'm thinking of is on my back.
I mean, I guess I would probably assume it would probably come from your backlog.
Wait, what are you saying?
that
Like so you're-
Backlogs are games you want to play.
Yes. Have you never seen that?
I've never seen.
Don't watch it now. Watch it later.
I'll watch it later.
Oh god. Oh god.
There's a lot you don't know about me, Crispy.
Yeah.
Don't watch
Where
too
did the
many
sex
old
doll
clips.
come from?
That's Jonathan Blow.
That's Jonathan Blow, the game developer. The game developer, Jonathan Blow. That's a conversation for another time. I think the better way to word the question is if you're playing Bloodborne, you're playing Axiom Verge. If you just finish those, you're done with them now.
So if the games that we're currently working on right now finish
Okay.
themselves.
Pillars,
Yes.
Axiom Verge, Bloodborne.
Yeah.
What game from my backlog would I play?
It says including your backlog if you finish them, but I think this would probably come from your backlog.
Oh Lord.
Something I haven't even started?
Yeah, that's probably the best. You could have started it and never finished it, maybe, and want to restart it.
I would.
Honestly, for me, it would probably be Human Revolution, just because the excitement I have for this new announcement, and that's a game I played it when it first came out once time and never went back and touched it again. But it's kind of one I've always wanted to play because you give your attributes a certain way. What is that one attack? The tornado one? What the
Typhoon?
Typhoon.
Typhoon.
I'd never use that
Yeah.
in the game.
I use that all the time.
Yeah, and so I always wanted to go back and replay the game using Typhoon, but I never got the chance. So I mean, if I had all the time and I finished everything, I'd probably go back and play
I would probably go back and play the Uncharted games because I still have never done that.
Oh my god.
What?
that. Right?
I know, right?
Like,
I know, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to
No.
say Symphony of the Night.
Like,
know.
wait.
Yeah.
You've never
Oh,
played them?
How many times are we gonna have
We've
this
had this
conversation?
conversation before,
Nick?
yeah.
What?
He's never played a Zelda.
He just assumes that every time we have this conversation
You
that
go
I
and play
immediately
them.
went home and played
Yeah.
them and rectified the situation. I haven't, Nick.
Maybe we should put get a new Jonathan Blow as a Patreon goal.
It's really weird. Like,
There's plenty of sex shops
sometimes
around here.
I think about it like
Jonathan Blow?
if I didn't have to worry about any of these games I'm playing right now, if I didn't have a stupid fucking stream where I had to play stuff to entertain people or attempt to,
This is really
if I
tedious,
didn't have a
isn't it?
girlfriend, if I didn't have a job, if I didn't have to worry about friends or anything, what
And
would
you
be the game?
weren't,
Oh,
and you
God.
weren't gonna kill yourself.
You were not going to say
what would you
Chaos
play?
Blade.
If I didn't have anything, if I didn't have to worry about the world, and I could just play a game.
Diablo.
Chaos Blade.
You fucking guy.
There's no community. I mean, that game doesn't really exist anymore, so I wouldn't play that. But it would probably be some fucking MMO. I'd probably play like Final Fantasy 14, to be honest.
Cool.
Interesting.
Nick?
I was just thinking about this today, and this is mainly just because I'm going to Disney World at the end of the month, and I was kind of interested in playing Kingdom Hearts just because I'm getting.
Have you played those before?
Fuck?
Have you played those before?
I played
No.
the first one, and I never got through the second one, and I have both of them in the HD collection. And I was like, I kind of want to go back and play them.
I wish there was.
I know Brad's gonna have a personal problem with this.
No. What I'm saying is, I wish there was an analogy for like what Kingdom Hearts is. Like the reason you don't want to mess with Kingdom Hearts.
I know enough about Kingdom Hearts to know what I'm getting into, Brad.
It's like.
And I know it's not your cup of tea.
The thing is, you're younger than me. So it's like my.
That's not patronizing at all.
Just by a few decades, Nick. Don't worry.
What I'm saying is my analogy would be a little different than yours. It's like if you really got into like Spyro the Dragon or something.
Baby game. It's a baby game.
It's just for a different audience, Nick. You're just
Brad, I've played Kingdom Hearts and I like it.
the first one.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody
Brad,
played
how
that
old
one.
were you when you played the first Kingdom Hearts?
Brad, I know you're not
I was
comfortable enough with
13.
your masculinity to
I
be
was
okay
13
playing.
when I played
You were
Kingdom
not
Hearts.
13. You were not 13 when you played Kingdom Hearts, were you?
I had to have been.
No, you were
Brad,
older
I know
than
you're
that.
not comfortable enough in your masculinity. We've already
Dude,
covered that this
I
Wait,
podcast.
wait,
the
this has
first-
nothing to do with
Maybe I was a
masculinity.
little older than
I remember
13.
the first Kingdom Hearts coming out because I saw advertisements for it on the fucking Disney Channel. Yeah, like that's about how old we would've been.
No. Dude, I played through Kingdom. I 100% of Kingdom Hearts 1 twice.
So what is your problem with me wanting to play that?
You just want to play the original.
I want to play both of them because
Okay,
I
first of
have
all,
played-
don't say both of them because there's a lot more than two.
I'm only counting the ones with numbers after them.
I 100%ed Kingdom Hearts.
Sorry, Brad. I was 15.
That's a difference.
2 years older.
Wait,
The thing is,
what year was it?
2002.
Kingdom Hearts.
Technically, I just turned 15.
Kingdom Hearts is this weird, silly thing that has a lot to do with Disney nostalgia and Final Fantasy fanboyiness. You know,
Yes.
it's like a weird merger.
And
of the
that's
two.
the reason I
was
wanted
strange
it was
and
because I
different.
love Final Fantasy.
And even though I played through that game twice, I realized, dude, this game is jacked in a lot of ways. And it was jacked. I tried to play through Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't. One, the gameplay in those games gets pretty bad.
You don't need to tell me.
rword.org.
Oh, my Lord.
rword.org. That's all I'll say.
I think we spent a lot of time on this question.
.org.
Oh my God! Of course, he had to undercut my answer to the question. I just want to play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 again.
Play it, dude. Play it. Like
I'm going to Disney World. I want to play a Disney game, and that is the only Disney game I'm probably going to want to play. Sorry.
No. Listen, dude. Play Kingdom Hearts 1.
I'm going to play both.
Okay.
Well, honestly, I have so
on.
many games I'm playing right now. I'm probably not going to play either of them before my trip. So
Moving on.
this is the what if.
Our subscriber of the month this month, it's the first time we're announcing this, I
Yes,
believe,
it is.
is Disruptor486.
Disruptor. Do we have? Oh yeah, we have his email, right?
Yes, we do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Disruptor.
We decided on the game with the B, right?
Did we?
Yeah. I think ultimately
We were
did.
kind of we
also had another conversation before you even got here, Nick, debating on what game we were going to play.
Oh god damn it. Okay, well he's provided us with a list of games and we have debated
This is
feverishly.
This is probably one of the most difficult times we've had deciding on what game we're going to play once the subscriber sent us his list.
Oh, there's
Oh look,
there's
Disruptor's in chat.
Disruptor
Nice.
wants us to play Disruptor on the PlayStation 1. Insomniac's first game.
So did we decide on that one?
I thought so.
We're gonna play Betrayer.
There you go. It's
Oh,
out there.
we
Now we're
decided.
doing it. Now we're doing it.
I only have one of the games.
Hey, is
on that
Betrayer
list.
Brad has.
This is a really weird
do.
time for me to ask this question because we've already decided apparently.
Yeah.
Betrayer's that one that's like black and white?
Yes.
Okay, sweet.
Yes.
That's the one I wanted to play.
Well, there you
Okay.
go. Now you have a
Nick's
chance.
gonna play
Is it-
Betrayer.
Is that game black or white?
Thank you, Disruptor. We're going to be playing Betrayer on the feed this month. In fact, I'll pick that up. I'll play it. I've been curious about that since I saw it at PAX.
Well, now you have the
No,
opportunity
it does look cool.
and the drive. So the thing is, I was looking into the game. You don't have to play it in black and white.
No, but you play it in black and white.
But who wouldn't play it in
Well,
black and white?
I like the fact that you can add as much color as you want. You can have it in full color. There's like a scale,
Yeah.
so you can add like just like
I don't think I've ever seen a screenshot
of
of that game in color.
like a touch of color, just like a dab of color.
Not just ex Monolith people, but like the lead designer on like Fear and No One Lives Forever, like that dude.
So thank you, Disruptor. We will schedule some times to play Betrayer on the feed throughout the month of April. We're in April, right? Yep. We'll do that. I'm gonna pick it up. We'll put it on the calendar and we'll announce it on Twitter and all that good stuff. And of course, on the podcast next week, we'll probably have a date for you.
We were trying to pick the game that,
Chris Davis, close that window. I can't see what chat's saying.
yeah, that we haven't played on the feed before. The other ones we had played on the feed. And
I like how Reborn's just jokingly talking all kinds of trash, but and she's like, "Oh shit, he's in chat." That's funny. So thank you, Disruptor, for being a patron, subscriber.
yeah,
both?
you do want to play it in black and white. It's one of the things where, like Faust says, it doesn't look as good when it's in full color. Like imagine Mad World if it wasn't black and white.
I can't.
It's called Anarchy Reigns, and it looks like shit.
That is true. Okay, good point. Good point. Nolan, you look
No, it's
perplexed.
it's because I didn't pull in the information earlier in the day because I was having issues. Yeah, and then like I was kind of going through it now, trying to make sure I had the information, and I got a weird email.
Welcome back, Olin Coates in chat, who says he's been gone for a while. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Have you seen our new website and our Patreon campaign?
All because of you.
All because of you. This is all you. Points to green screen.
touch it.
Well, your money, our blood, sweat, and tears.
Should we
No, so we can I can do it. I was curious about something because a chatter had responded with something, and I was trying to see what the answer was. Real quick, I probably shouldn't.
That's very vague, Nolan, but I'm going to just nod. Okay.
Wait,
What
there.
was the answer?
No, it's one of the chatters. I said, "Hey, you're going to be on Chatter of the Week tonight," and they never responded. And apparently, they responded like last month, and I didn't see the response because I don't look through all of the Chatter of the Week submissions. I leave them unread, so I know when it's time to choose that person. You know what I'm saying? I have
Yeah.
a bunch of unread ones. I don't go through them as soon as I get them. And I just saw that he had responded to my, "Hey, you're going to be on the show tonight," with a what did it say? Like, go fuck yourself. I was just kind of confused by that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Someone sent you an email.
Sorry, he said, "Fuck off, you stupid cunt."
What?
I don't know why. Maybe he lost. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Fuck that guy.
Right? That's not very nice.
That's all the email said?
Yeah, right there.
And his name is...
No, don't read his name. I'm not going to call anybody out.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay, well let's just go ahead with today's
What a fucking cunt. Anyway.
Chat of the week submissions. So our first chat of this week is Joseph, Red Unit 10 in chat.
Okay.
Hey, I've seen that name before.
He is from Amsterdam, New York. There's an Amsterdam, New York?
Yeah.
I learn new things every.
He's making it up.
I learn new things every day.
In fact, wasn't New York City's original name New Amsterdam?
No. I'm just kidding, I have no idea.
It wasn't Chris Thacker from Kincaid, West Virginia, was it?
No, it was not.
Every
That would
episode.
be hilarious
I
if
think
it was.
Because that would be warranted.
I think you successfully brought that up.
If he accidentally responded saying we weren't supposed to say his name, but I just didn't see his response.
Someone showed up at my house.
I'm getting weird things in the mail.
That is
All right,
hilarious.
Red Unit 10's shameful secret. He says, I know this isn't a porn site, but let's face it, video game girls are hot. However, in games where I can romance them, I always seem to be interested more in a character I can't get jiggy with.
Wait. Video game girls in games or like gamer girls?
In
Video
games.
games,
Okay.
girls in video
He
games.
says,
Because Brad hates gamer girls.
He says Meredith from Dragon Age 2? DA2. Right?
Yes, Dragon Age 2. Meredith, yeah.
Yeah. And
She was not an option.
Meredith?
Uh,
Meredith is the bad guy.
Meredith, yeah.
Murder.
That's why you couldn't get jiggy with her.
Yeah.
Like girls he can't
and
romance.
Chakwas
She's old.
with Matt.
From Mass Effect?
Yeah, from
Oh my
Mass
God,
Effect.
she's
The
old
doctor.
too.
Yeah.
Chakwas?
So
Oh, he's
I
got a
think-
granny
He's
thing.
into old ladies.
He's got a granny thing.
I think
That's
we
okay.
said-
No.
It's cool. It's cool.
He's all into the
We're
gilfs.
cool.
That's all right.
It's cool.
Yeah. He says, I've likely spent over $2,000 on artistic commissions to solve this problem. All not safe for work.
Oh my god.
Oh my lord.
Why?
His
You
room
could just
looks
go
exactly
online.
like this.
Wait,
but slightly different.
Chris Davis says we've done this one before.
We've done this one before?
In fact,
We have?
well, unless there was two people that said they were.
remember
I remember
talking about
Chakwas.
Chakwas for some
I do not
reason,
remember
but-
Meredith.
Did I maybe send this one to Chris Davis or something? I've never done
Does anyone
this.
in chat remember this one?
I've never read this.
Oh
All
my
right.
god, Chris Davis is stuck in a temporal loop.
Oh, maybe Chris Davis read it.
Are you having
But
a lot
it's-
of crazy deja vu, Chris Davis?
It's unread. It's unread in my inbox.
Oh shit.
Oh, no, there he's right there. He's Anime Pulse. We have done this one.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait,
Well, let's read the winner then.
Anime Pulse is not Red Unit 10.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Are we gonna vote for the
Oh, he
same
is?
guy?
in chat he is. Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for being honest, Anime Pulse.
Well, let's read the winner.
Well,
Yeah,
no.
he says he's done it before.
Your
Oh,
phone's
that's
making
my
noise.
phone.
Yeah.
I was like, Brad,
What is
shut your
going
phone
on?
off.
Was that a timer?
Yeah, it's telling me I need to go to bed.
Oh, good job.
Yeah.
Thought that was your time to be a bitch timer.
Oh, come on.
That one's on mute.
Should I?
It be going off?
Should I? I don't want to say skip it.
Let's just read the other one.
Well, just read the other one and then he'll win.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Hold on. You know what the easiest way to do would be let me look at who I did last week.
Was there something we can do right now while you warm
Yeah,
that up?
let's close it with 4-player minute and you can prepare. Right?
But he hasn't prepared his 4
No, my 4-player minute's prepared.
Okay. Well, mine isn't. I was working on that, so fuck it. I'll go first. My hype is for The Witcher 3. I can't wait, guys. It's close. It's like a month away
Dude,
almost.
why have they
I can't wait. I can't wait.
that game is going to be great, but Jesus Christ.
can't wait. I
The
can't
game's
wait.
not even out yet and they've already announced 2 huge DLC packs.
You know what's funny? Is they said we're
Next-
our DLC is going to be free. So then they announced paid expansions.
Yeah, didn't they say they were?
I know,
they
right?
were
These
always-
motherfuckers, dude.
Those dicks.
Those
they were like,
mo-
oh wait, we might actually be onto something here.
No.
We better charge.
When the game comes out, they're going to have all kinds of free DLCs for the people who bought that game. Do you know what that's called? That's called the video game. You don't give away free things in a game the day a game comes out.
That's just the game.
That's just the game.
Yeah.
That's just the stuff
Yeah,
from the game.
Fuck
Just
those guys.
put that in the game.
What is wrong with you guys?
It just doesn't make sense. It's like someone buys a car and we're giving you free tires. They come with the car.
That's a good point.
Well, you don't have to buy tires right away. That's
Okay,
nice.
okay. It's like saying we're giving you a free steering wheel because we're the greatest company ever. A free steering
But it's
wheel.
not like they're releasing the game and then being like, "Oh my god, Geralt is free DLC. You can actually have a main character in the game now."
But I mean, it's
It'd be
that's like saying any
it'd be
weapon
like saying-
in the game is
It's
free
like saying we're
DLC.
giving you a car and we threw in a CD changer for free.
What's that? I'm kidding. That was a joke.
They changed the CD.
That was a joke. All right,
It
Brad.
changes CD Project Red.
This quickly. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Oh my god. Okay, this just
Whoa, you can't do that.
Brad, that was your hype. Believe it or not, that was Brad's hype.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, no, I'm happy
That
with
was
you.
his
My fuck you goes to CD
He's salty
Projekt.
about his hypes too.
It's fucking
My
good.
fuck you also goes to CD Projekt Red.
For everything.
My thank you goes.
Brad cried at E3 that year when he saw that game. I looked over and there were literal tears coming out of his eyes.
Yeah,
He was clutching my
Making
shoulder.
Tears coming out of his
my
face.
sweat is also The Witcher 3, guys. I'm so worried about this game, just because.
Just because historically you haven't liked any Witcher game.
Well,
yet.
no, that's not true. I didn't like the first one. I liked the second one.
Okay. Most people. That's the case of most people. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. I have lofty expectations. I trust CD Projekt Red to make, at the very least, a really cool world. Siri's going to be in it. Lilac and gooseberries. I'm excited.
Is
I'm worried-
is that a meal? Lilac and gooseberries?
No, that's Yennefer Scent. And this is what we're talking about since this episode.
Yeah.
Nolan's still winning.
And my
Holy
thank
fuck.
you.
I got 21 votes, so I'm
Third
proud of
place.
myself.
My thank you goes to everyone in chat who was very positive and supportive while I was playing Bloodborne. I know not everyone was trying to, downplay any sort of achievement I had. And I want to thank you guys. That doesn't mean you gotta fucking suck up oh, Brad, you're so good at this game. I don't want that either. But you know what I mean.
That's
You
not
know
going to
what I mean.
happen.
No, it's definitely not gonna happen.
That's definitely not gonna.
But I want to thank all the people for actually talking while I play Bloodborne, because it doesn't happen much with Pillars of Eternity. So,
Oh Lord, thank you, Brad. I'll go next.
Mm-hmm.
My hype this week goes to. Honestly, I think it's Titan Souls.
Oh.
I'm pretty excited for that game. I don't know.
T-Souls.
The demo was really satisfying, and I think I'm just really attracted to Souls games right now. And that
They're
game,
good.
let's be honest, is taking some inspiration from Souls games. And oh man, second hype, Dark Souls 2 came out this week on the
No, it
PS4. Shut up. You know what I mean. Dark Souls 2 came out for
Scholar of the
PS4,
first
and
sin.
that is the version that I'm going to be playing. So I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Very excited. My sweat is that I don't know when I'll get to play those games because Bloodborne is. I am moving at a slow and methodical pace through Bloodborne. I think I'm over leveling to a degree. I might be spending a little too much time grinding in that game, but fuck it, I'm having a blast.
I don't mean to interrupt you,
But you're going to.
but there was this big drama that happened in chat earlier today, and something happened. Let's just say Chris Davis was being rude. And word on the street is the only way Self-Torment is going to keep his subscription is if Christopher Davis has to stream at least an hour of World of Tanks.
Wait, what happened?
That is that is all I know. That is all I know.
Oh my god. This is coming up in chat again right now. Can I finish?
Well,
there
there's a civil war in chat. then people say they're going to cancel their subscription if he does stream World of Tanks, and it was a bloodbath. So I don't know what's going to
A
happen.
house divided against itself cannot stand.
That's hilarious. I was wondering. I got notifications on my phone today at work about someone tweeting Team Godzilla versus Team Tanks or something, and I was like, "What is happening right now?" Anyways,
Sorry, continue.
And my fuck you for the week goes to the blood-starved beast in Bloodborne because not only.
What is going on?
guy.
We spent like an hour today on the feed.
Crying?
We were playing Pillars of Eternity, and when you go into a bar, you hear all this like ambient dialogue. But if you listen real closely, real fucking closely, you can actually hear what they're saying. And it became this thing where there's a dude who says, "A perfect hand, 29." And then, like, I'm like, do you hear it? And I turn the music all the way down, and then, like,
Twist,
and
he's
you
playing
can wait
blackjack.
like 5 minutes, and you hear the dude, he goes, "Perfect hand, 29." And then some people hear it, and some people swear they don't hear it. And then there's another one. There's another dude who says, "Oh, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it?"
Suspense is killing me, Brad.
Wait. No, it's like Burt. Go to chat. Fucking Chris Davis, go to chat. Burt Rivera. Don't forget the poop job. What? The poop job.
Don't forget the poop
ambient
job?
dialogue. If you listen very closely, somebody says Burt Rivera. Don't forget the poop job.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think I've ever seen
What is 29 a perfect hand?
The guy was just really bad at blackjack.
I don't think I've ever seen Brad laugh this hard on the show ever. And now it's
We
spreading.
spent like an hour listening to ambient dialogue. I mean, ambient.
It must have been a riveting stream.
Burt Rivera. Don't forget the poop job. I don't know what that means.
It wasn't just a bunch of people going like rhubarb.
No, they were saying it.
I think I'm going to name the show that.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Chai figured out 29's a perfect hand in cribbage.
What the fuck is cribbage?
That's some kind of weird British people
I
game.
need scissors.
Right? All right.
Holy shit.
My 4-player minute
Go for it, Nolan.
starts now. My hype. Game of Thrones.
Oh, that's the Sunday.
Sunday.
That's on
Oh my
Sunday.
God, we gotta
That's
do that.
Sunday.
That's Sunday.
I'm gonna watch like the first few episodes for sure. But
I
then
am super fucking
I don't
excited.
know.
It's been so long. This has been one of those shows that fucking like half the world loves, and I'm right there with them. Thank you, Crispy. My sweat goes to Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, I don't know what I want to do about this game. Like,
why do you have to do anything?
oh, because it's coming out on PC. I don't own it on next. I don't own it on PS4 or PC.
I think I'm going to buy it on PS4 when it drops or something.
And I'm debating on if I want to get it on PC or not, because it looks fucking good. 60 frames per second, 1080p. It can even do, I think, 1440.
Ooh.
Well, geez, but I mean that's
I know.
that you. I don't know if you have the graphics card.
No, I definitely don't have the graphics card for it. I will eventually. But I just haven't decided what I want to do yet.
Wait. Fuck. My third hype is for Daredevil. That's on Friday. My body is ready for that.
Okay.
Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. I just forgot.
Nick's ready to enter Hell's Kitchen.
I am ready. My body is ready for Hell's Kitchen.
My thank you goes to everyone who makes highlights, Jaeger, J50, all y'all. Thanks for all the anime highlights y'all been putting up. Anime highlights are the best. So good.
I see what you did there, Nolan.
And my fuck you goes to fucking YouTube. Because on Sunday, I was like, oh, let me put up my Uncharted Let's Play. And I upload it, and it uploads in like 20 minutes. And it's like, let me process that for 10 hours.
Yeah.
And 10 hours later, it still says processing. And so I'm like, crap. And I'm at work, so I call Bernadette and I ask her to upload it. And she uploads the wrong one. And that's all my fault. I told her the wrong file. Completely my bad. Takes like 7 hours to upload. Why? I get home, I realize it's the wrong one. I go upload the right one. 30 minutes to upload, 20 minutes to process, it's done. What the fuck?
I don't know. That was weird.
Like, what the fuck, YouTube? Come on. That was frustrating.
And then Nolan never used his microwave to upload videos ever again.
Crispy?
Okay. My hype is, I mean, come on. Batman Arkham Knight. That's just gonna be so cash! Can't wait.
I thought you were going to say Game of Thrones.
That comes out next week?
No, it's coming up though.
Oh, okay.
It's
When's that?
coming up.
It's coming up. It's like,
It's coming up.
In a few months?
It's coming up. Don't worry about it. It's coming
No
up.
games are coming out.
I'm
between
hyped
now
about other things too.
Oh, okay.
But I'm particularly focused on Batman at the moment. My sweat is Bloodborne because I'm falling behind all you motherfuckers because I haven't played in like 4 days.
Yeah, you're falling so far behind.
So far-
I'm still in the third area, you fucker.
I can't let Nick get ahead of me.
I don't even know where to go.
My fuck you goes to the boss battles in Batman Arkham Origins, with the exception that I didn't mention earlier of the Firefly fight. That one was actually pretty cool, but let's be honest, it belongs in a Spider-Man game, not a Batman game.
in a museum.
It belongs in a museum. Yeah, but the rest of those boss fights suck. And instead of a thank you, I'm going to do another hype for fucking Flash.
I know that I was gonna have
Coming
2
back
hypes.
next week.
Right? Oh my god.
Oh my god!
I'm
It's
so
getting
ready.
serious, guys.
It's
Reverse
getting
Flash.
good.
Who's the Reverse Flash?
Right?
What's up?
What
with,
the
What's
fuck?
up with Harrison Wells? What's going on? Are people trapped? I don't even
Time
know.
travel.
I don't even know. I don't even know, man. It's crazy. Oh, fucking Flash! It's so good. I hate you all. Go ahead.
I'm getting pretty excited for Arrow.
You should watch Flash, Nick.
Dude, you should watch.
I will. Oh, you know what? You know what? Sorry. Let me amend my fuck you of the week to Hulu.
sorry.
Fuck Hulu.
Arrow
That
is
is
a-
officially the shortest paid subscription I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, Hulu's kind
Oh.
of pimpy.
I subscribed so I could try and watch The Flash. The first episode they have is episode 13.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, are you kidding me? Cancel
Dude,
subscription.
that's what I'm saying. Like that.
Fuck
I tried
that!
to catch up on Arrow at week week 6. I wanted to go back and watch the first episode of Arrow, and they had episode 3 was where they started.
That is
Jesus.
the
Yeah,
dumbest
every
thing I've
week
ever
they put a
seen.
new one on, they take an old one off. Fuck those guys. Fuck those guys. But you know what?
But they make you pay for it.
Call me when Ray Palmer's doing his whole Adam thing. That's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can't wait.
He's kind of already done
he's
that.
kind of already done that, but just not what
He's
you're
gone
thinking.
down to like the micro.
Oh,
verse?
no.
I don't think
I'm
that's
sorry,
gonna
sorry.
happen, Crispy.
No!
I don't
He's
think
the
so.
Atom. He has to. It's his whole thing. He shrinks. He doesn't have other powers, guys.
Basically, in the episode I watched with him, he's basically Iron Man.
Basically.
It's Brandon Routh, his like smiley face, like, hey,
It's
I'm Ray Palmer.
It's Brandon
I'm Iron
Routh.
Man.
At least
Former-
Ant-Man shrinks.
It's Brandon Routh, former Superman, playing Iron Man, pretending to be the Atom.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Dude, he just
And fucking Green Arrow is Batman now.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
what
yeah,
the
he
fuck?
basically gets in his Atom suit,
name's
flies
Arrow.
around the city, gets up to him, and he uses fucking his like rays that come out of his hand to shoot beams of energy.
His repulsor blasters.
Yeah, his repulsor
so he is
blaster.
fucking Iron Man.
No, he's Iron Man. He's basically Iron Man in this
Okay.
show.
I like the Flash though.
Yeah, Flash is good.
All right. Nolan, do.
Oh yeah. So anime poll / Red Unit 10. If we already did yours, why'd you resubmit it?
Yeah, you dick.
Because that submission was from February 17th, the same day as last one of last week.
Wait, are we doing one this week or not?
Yeah, no, I have them. I
Okay.
was just kind of confused because I was like, if his is like already done before, when did I guess so? I guess he resubmitted his.
Maybe he missed it the first time. I don't know.
No, I'm not in 2014.
Well, at least he reminded us that he's into old ladies.
Yes.
That is true.
That's a
That's
good
all
thing
it
to
is.
remember.
I just want you to remember.
So our
that
first
Chalk
chapter,
to chalk
have
was.
we done Fuzzy Dude? Do y'all remember doing a
I
Fuzzy
mean, I know
Dude
who Fuzzy
before?
Dude is, but I don't think we've done. I'll tell you.
Jesus Christ.
I'll tell you.
So Fuzzy Dude, also known as Fuzzy Dude in chat, from Maryland.
Way up in the corner.
Yep. Shameful secret: Pinnacle Rock in Majora's Mask was frightening to me as a child. Combined my childhood fears of open water, large predators, and deep dark pits. Took me an hour of swimming and staring into the abyss for me to finally take the plunge. Then upon a giant eel popping out of its lair to get me. Scared me right back up to the surface for another hour.
Jeez.
If you remember Pinnacle Rock, it's the part in Majora's Mask where you have to collect the eggs.
I remember very little of Majora's Mask.
In Great Bay, you have to collect a bunch of eggs
Yeah.
before you can progress. And one point, you have to go into this big, deep pit with all these giant eels that attack you. But you have
Yeah.
to kill them so you can get to the eggs that they have. Yeah, I see where he's coming from.
Gotcha.
His greatest gaming achievement, it's more of a never-ending journey, but building my town in Animal Crossing New Leaf is my achievement. I spent more than a year building, designing, and putting together a peaceful little town of Glacia for myself and its residents. I'm quite proud of it. That and getting Foxhound rank in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, and there's that.
Fuzzy Dude's top 5 games of all time. Number 5, The Legend of Zelda.
I'm going to go with Majora's Mask.
I'm gonna go with Link to the Past.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Twilight Princess. What?
We were all wrong.
You're also stupid. Come on.
Dumb.
Number 4 game of all time is Sonic.
Generation. Sonic Freeriders.
Adventure.
Sonic
Adventure.
Colors. Sonic in the...
Brad?
Sonic Unleashed.
Adventure.
Sonic, gotta go fast. I'm just kidding. Sonic Adventure 2, Battle.
What? Sorry.
I've
I don't think I
I've
even
never
knew
heard of
that was one.
I've never heard of that. Number 3, Paper Mario.
1,000 Year Door.
Yeah, 1,000 Year Door.
Super Paper Mario.
1,000 Year Door.
Okay.
Number 2 game of all time, Animal Crossing.
New Leaf.
New Leaf. Yeah.
They only get better.
New Leaf. And his number 1 game of all time is Metal Gear.
Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Rising.
I'll go Snake Eater.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knocked it out of the park.
You know,
He says, please shame Chris Davis for denying Pokemon Omega Red Alpha Sapphire its rightful place as a 2014 Game of Year nominee.
Oh,
No.
calling him on that shit.
Whoa.
which game?
Omega Red Alpha
Pokemon?
Sapphire? Pokemon,
That wasn't a nominee.
apparently.
Well,
And this week, Fuzzy Dude is up against Marco.
Polo.
Manzor X in chat.
Manzorks.
Manzorks.
I think.
Manzor's.
That's what I'm going with.
Manzors?
Manzorks.
He's from Croatia.
Damn.
From a town where Game of Thrones King Landing was filmed.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. He wins. I'm sorry.
Manzorks wins because he's got great taste in games. We usually see eye to eye on this stuff.
Shameful secret. When I was very young, I used to play quite a lot of Barbie games on the PlayStation 1.
Shut the fuck up! You take it back! You're making this shit up!
Wait, let me read it.
You're making this shit up!
Right there.
Oh my god, it says it. Holy shit.
And I liked
No!
them for some reason. My favorite one was Barbie Super Sports, and I would play it over and
That's a good
over
one.
when I was bored. Don't judge.
I don't judge.
Holy shit. Holy shit, that was perfect. That
Shame
was...
him for being into Barbies.
No, it's cool.
Way to
Greatest
go,
gaming
Brad.
achievement. When Age of Conan MMORPG released, everyone from my guild rushed to be the first one to get max level. I played it non-stop, with half an hour to 1 hour eating/napping breaks. At the end, I was in the top 100 players across all servers to get the max level. It was very hard as we played on open PvP servers where the other players could attack you on sight.
Let's go back to talking about Brad.
Wait,
like
it was Conan?
Yeah, Age of Conan. I almost got
of
into
Conan.
that when it came out. I was kind of excited for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Anyway, moving on. Manzor's top 5 games of all time. Number 5, Dwarf Fortress.
Dwarf?
Dwarf.
Yeah, Dwarf Fortress.
Dwarf Fortress.
Dwarf.
I don't know.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Number 4, Command and Conquer.
Red Alert?
Yeah. Let's go with Red Alert.
I'm gonna guess Tiberian War.
Red Alert.
Okay.
Number
Fail.
3, Call of Duty.
Modern Warfare?
4.
Yeah, for Modern Warfare.
Call of Duty 2.
Who? There's always that one.
Number 2, Mount
And Blade.
And Blade.
and Blade.
Your friends. Mount your
Mountain
friends.
Blade Warband.
Mount your friends. That's my guess.
And his number 1 game of all
Banner
time,
Lords.
Consortium.
Oh my god.
Oh, were we
he,
supposed to guess
he
something?
gifted me Consortium.
there was no way I could do anything else.
I think
with
he
that.
gifted me Consortium. Somebody. I
What
think
the
that
hell
was
is
him.
I
Consortium?
have no idea.
He
He says it's
not even
similar
that
to
old.
Telltale Games, and he enjoys it a lot. Clearly, it's his
My
number 1
god,
game of all
that
time.
game came out like last year.
Really?
Apparently.
Yeah.
He was really.
It's like an indie game where you just kind of explore this plane.
From what I
whatever.
heard, Chris Davis loved it. I think it was almost his number 1 game last year.
Yeah, that's what he's saying right now on our.
I heard it
closed
kind of
chat.
compared to
He's like, "Oh my god, I love Consortium."
like imagine a game like Deus Ex or System Shock or something with no combat, where you just walk around and talk to people or something.
All right. Manzor says, I've been watching on and off since 2008. We prefer when you watch on. Whenever I was in a bad mood, you guys always cheered me up. Thank you.
You're
so
welcome.
we had Fuzzy Dude versus Manzor.
Sorry, Fuzzy Dude. I'm going to give it to Manzor. Mainly because he's in Croatia, and that's crazy cool.
What? Okay.
And he
I do love Croatia.
he did like Barbie games. He did
Nick's
like,
always wanted to take a trip to Croatia.
hey man, it's cool. And he brought up Game of Thrones. It was filmed. That's cool. And his top 5 was pretty unpredictable.
Fuck this guy.
You're trying to solve like a mystery or something.
I'm gonna give it to Manzora's because the Barbie thing was funny. There was he mentioned Mountain Blade, which fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And also because he mentioned Chris Davis's favorite game from last year.
That's true.
Because that
Consortium.
game didn't get a lot of exposure. And I know Chris talks about that a lot, about how much he loved Consortium and wants to hear more
I'm
people
not
talk about
giving it to
Consortium.
Manzorks. You want to know why?
Because it got you that
Because this
Barbie thing?
motherfucker, he told me not to join the 5 crazy dudes or whatever in Divinity Original Sin. These crazy cultist dudes asked me, hey, you want to join? And it was going to go down this crazy rabbit hole of this silly ass quest line. He's like, you don't have to join them now. You don't have to join them now. So I didn't join them. I was like, no thanks. Now, and I planned to join them later and go down this crazy quest line. It immediately cut off that quest line. I wasn't able to do it. And he thought I would forget. It came back. It finally bit you in the ass. You lose. Assuming that someone else votes against you and then we flip and then you lose that.
So I was going to give it to Fuzzy Dude, so it is a tie.
Yeah! Come on, Fuzzy Dude! Manzorks, I love you, but you're going to lose
So
this,
now we got to
motherfucker.
flip a coin. I do have a quarter here. I'm going to flip.
Not gonna flip the dime?
No. Heads is Fuzzy because he was first.
Sure.
Tails is Manzor.
Sure.
We got Tails.
Manzor is the winner.
Best 2 out of 3.
Congratulations, Manzor. You are this week's Chatter of the Week. You have won the win. You are the big man on chat.
Big man on campus.
Yep. On chat.
sorry,
Chattis?
on chat.
I don't even know how to go. If you would like to be Chatter of the Week, all you have to do is go to 4playernetwork.com, click on Chatter of the Week, and enter in
There's a big button on the front page. Woo, big button. Click that.
diddly doodly doos.
Fill out that form.
You too could be Chatter of the Week.
And let's see the final winner of the poll. The Essence of Nolan would be the preferable scent if we were ever to sell a cologne in the store. Imagine that.
It smells pretty good.
I bet that smells ripe. Okay.
17 people voted for Essence of Crispy.
I thought Essence
Which
of
proves
Chris
it's
Davis
not
would win.
always the most popular choice, but it is the distinguished one.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that's our show this week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I don't know what we've had some weird tangents the past 2 weeks. I don't know if this is green screen or what, but hey, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
It's been fun. We'll do
been.
another episode next Tuesday per usual. Of course, if you're just joining us, 4playernetwork.com is the website. You can watch us broadcast games every single night at 4pp.tv. And of course, check out our Patreon if you want to help support us and you're not already. Consider donating. We are working towards our next milestone, which will be to open a merch store, and then after that, we're going to be working on getting Crispy a capture card so he can broadcast games, console games, and he'll be doing a Demon Souls Let's Play.
Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Which is pretty exciting because he's been wanting to play Demon Souls for a while.
Mm.
And anyways, that is our show. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.